Belina mai kako, welcome to Keep It Aloha, a podcast that keeps aloha by honoring generations past and preparing for generations to come. I'm your host, Kamaka, and this episode is all about honoring legacy. We have two amazing guests today, but before we introduce them, I gotta tell you about this week's giveaway. You already know here on the Keep It Aloha podcast, we give away $500 or more in prizes all of 2026. This week's giveaway is provided by our Keep It Aloha on the road partner, Hawaiian Airlines and Aloha Collection. To enter, all you have to do is head to our Instagram and find the giveaway post. The full details will be in the description. I'll be pulling the winners on Wednesday and announcing them on Instagram Live. For an extra 10 entries, email nicole@keepitaloha.com the secret word/phrase from this episode, as well as something cool about your family legacy. And as always, the prizes and entry instructions can change every week, so make sure you're following us and listening to the full episodes so you never miss a chance to win. Good luck and enjoy this episode. All right, let's introduce our guests.
After 175 years, some people still think we're just a ranch.
And we just farm all day.
What they don't realize is we wear many hats. And that's just how we roll.
You just might see some old friends.
Or make some new ones.
So come hang with us
Drive on out to the country.
and get that epic snap.
No matter what you're looking for, come discover where legends are made.
Our guests today are cultural practitioners from the Big Island of Hawaiʻi. They are descendants of one of Hawaii's most influential cultural legacies, the legacy of Edith Kanakaʻole. They are Kumu hula, chanters, composers, artists, and educators, carrying forward generations of ʻike Hawaiʻi through Hula Oli and ceremony. Their work has been showcased on the Merrie Monarch stage and around the world, where they are known not just for performance, but for the depth, integrity, and tradition behind everything they do. The diva-ess of these two is a 5-time Nā Hōkū Hanohano Award-winning artist known for her powerful ability to bridge chant and contemporary Hawaiian music, even becoming one of the first Hawaiian performers featured at globalFEST in New York. In 2025, her mother, our other guest, was recognized among the Nā Hōkū Hanohano Lifetime Achievement Award honorees by the Hawaii Academy of Recording Arts for her dedication to preserving and advancing traditional Hawaiian chant, mele, and performance. And just to brag a little bit more, she is also a Female Vocalist of the Year award winner. Before founding Lonoa Honua and Hālau ōhi'a, which provides specialized Hawaii stewardship training programs, she was the Kumu hula for the prestigious Hālau o Kekuhi, a Hālau known for its rigorous aiha'a style of hula. Their impact reaches far beyond the stage, into classrooms, communities, and across the lahui, continuing the work of preserving and perpetuating Olelo Hawai'i and ancestral knowledge. It is such a privilege to sit down with them today, and I am so stoked to be talking stories with them here at the historic Palace Theater in downtown Hilo during Merrie Monarch Week. They are Kekuhi Pu'uone o Nā Ali'i o Kohala, Kanae Kanahele Keali'ikanaka'ole o Haililani, and Kaumakaiwa Kanakaʻole. Aloha Kekuhi and Kaumakaiwa, welcome to the Keep It Aloha podcast. How are you both doing?
No na io taina tavau o turu o hilo aina o lewa na lewa makanoe o how mai kawati une o tanahe ʻia i te ao ka maile o pana e vai tuno mai na wai mo ai lutu e wa lutu e na kanaita i tai palaua e wana ia i te o muki o na menu o no mai wai o la me te wai le po I ho kai me wai lo a pai ke kula o hana kai e kai tamana o te aloha I no aloha I mo tu ola I ola na kini Hello.
Wow, mahalo. Aloha to you too.
Welcome.
Aloha. I am national treasure and Olympic gymnast Kaumakaiwa Keali'ikanaka'ole. Mahalo.
And I am not the one who received the Legacy Award. It was my mom, guys. But hey.
Oh, what the heck?
It was
Google, it was wrong.
Yeah, totally.
Let's blame Google because
Yeah,
I
okay,
looked
okay.
up
Yeah.
Kekuhi.
Yeah.
We can cut that out. We can
Hey.
AI it. It's fine.
was
No,
Edith,
I'm-
was
Yeah.
the same.
Same namesake.
Same
Yeah.
Kekuhi.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I'll take it then.
Yeah. You
Mahalo
can
ke
still,
ihuiana.
there's still
Yeah, yeah.
time, is what I'm
Mahalo.
saying.
Mahalo ke
Yeah.
ihuiana.
Oh, mahalo ya olua. That was great for a couple reasons because I was super out of breath because the list of accolades go on and on, even though it's the wrong accolades. There's so many more that I could have included, and I had to
Yeah.
cut. That was a short version of it.
Yeah.
But I am so stoked to be talking stories with the both of you. You are both legends together as individuals in Hilo, in Hawaii, in the world. I'm just so honored that I can do this here, in our hometown. And we've tried to do a podcast before in the last couple of years, and you're trying to add like 10 other family members. But I'm happy that it worked the way it was supposed to work today here in Hilo during Merrie Monarch Week. There's so much to talk about with the both of you, and so much that you two have accomplished, and your ohana as well. And I just want to start at the beginning before we get into everything. Where are you from? Where you grad? And what was it like growing up? You can decide who goes first.
Okay, so I'm from Keaukaha. Graduate from Waiakea High School in 1984. And what? From Keaukaha, and then moved to Panaeva. So pretty much right here in this space. And I followed my mother to Maui after I graduated from high school because she was over there opening the Hawaiian Studies program over there at Maui Community College. And I met some super cool people, opened up the Punana o Maui there, and then was called back to come here for, I missed home. I'd learned many life lessons there in Maui, and here I am.
And still we rise.
Girl,
We're still alive after
yes,
that.
oh my God.
Love you, Maui, but whoo, don't
Wow,
lose
that
you.
one.
And modesty is par for the course, right? Both my grandma and my mara, they won't sound off on their own accolades, but she was one of the pioneers. My grandmother basically pioneered the beginnings of the College of Hawaiian Studies in Maui Community College, and her mother before that, our tutu, was the pioneer of the Hawaiian Studies program in the university system here. And my mother, in lieu of that legacy, pioneered the Punana Leo o Maui's first class that my brother was a part of, with Uncle Keali'i Raichel and Auntie Kanani. And Uncle Keali'i is not only a cousin and a family member, because his ohana comes from Kohala, but was also a student of my grandmother's at the time. So that's the kind of ecosystem that was being nurtured there in Maui at the time. So, she made it sound super nonchalant, but it was and is and continues to be a pillar.
Wow. So what was it like growing up around that time? Like the 90s, right? Because you were still in 30 years old? How old are you right
The
now?
90s.
Oh, bless your heart.
Bless your heart, Puni.
Bless your heart. No, girl, I
I'm
was
trying to make up
liar.
after that
No,
intro.
girl, I was
Liar.
born in 1966. Come on now. And
I was close.
Yeah, you were
Yeah.
close. My parents were still in college, so my sister and I were actually born in San Francisco, Hayward. And then we moved back home when I was just out of kindergarten. My father just finished his schooling up there, and then we moved back home in 1971, around there. Girl, I was in Ho'oma Ka'i 77. So
Hano, that was me.
77.
Well, what group were you?
what else get?
Hano, I kaika, wow, something like that.
I think I was Nā Awa.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if I said the right order, but something like that.
I didn't go to any of that.
Yeah.
Well, I was born and raised here in Hilo.
Yeah.
So I never get to do that. Just cut that in, edit. I was born and raised here in Hilo from her. I was born in 1982 here in Hilo, Hawaii, and then raised in Keaukaha until my family relocated to Panaewa Homestead Ag Lots. And then when my grandmother went to Maui Community College and my mother followed suit, we all went because family, and I was still a baby. And so I spent a few years there in Maui with mom guys. And then in 1989, from 1986, I think I was there, 5 or 6 to 1989. And then mom sent me back to live with Grandma Pua and Grandpa Edward in 1989, and I've been there since. So yeah, graduated. I was the first part of the first Punana Leo class of 1985 with Hulila Wilson.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was who taught me at Punana Leo Hilo.
What?
Those were all there were only 15 of us. Was my cousin Lihao, was me, even Kuha'o actually. Kuha'o was there for a few months.
Wow.
For at least the first couple of months of the first year of Punana Leo. And it was sort of apropos because most of the kahu and the kumu of the time were students of Edith and Hālau Kekuhi. Wow. So I sort of had a great continuity of learning between school and home life. And then graduated from Navahi in class of 2000. 1999 was the first papalaka'i, and then continued with university here and till present.
Wow. It's crazy for me growing up because when I was in Kula Kaiapuni and, like Huli Lau was one of my teachers at Punana Leo, and then am I aging you guys?
Well, they just trust anybody out with the kids. Love
anybody
you,
at
Huli,
Punana.
sorry. Love you, Merrie.
But, and then, went to Kaumekakaʻole, Kekulo Navahi Okalani Pu'u. And during that time, when I was, ma ko'unoho haumana ma'o, I just didn't realize all the hamas I was around. My role models were, the sports people I saw on TV, and I grew up with Saturday morning cartoons, and, I had the olelo at home and, at Kula, and then, we had to do chants, but I would lip sync and I would hide in the bathroom, skip pico, and then
Milli Vanilli.
yeah, I was so like that, but it wasn't until I got older and I realized, these are like the people who helped revitalize our language, our culture. Like I was always familiar with the Kanakaʻole last name. I had classmates, related, and then I didn't know like my principals were some of the OGs of the Hawaiian language movement, and so it wasn't until I was a lot older I realized that I'm like I was very kolohe back then. But now I can, make up for lost time and learn these stories and share these stories because we're in a time now where it's so cool to be doing all of these things. And it was always cool, but it wasn't like praised like how it is.
No, it's cooler now.
Yeah, it's cooler now, but it just wasn't
totally.
praised how it is now.
Well, such is the ethos of ʻike Hawaii, right?
Yeah,
I mean, the ʻike Hawaii is to, what's the expression that you plant a seed with the grace and understanding that you may not be able to enjoy its shade in your lifetime, but you plant it so that your grandchildren and your children's children's can enjoy it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, none of us have any kind of had scope of what it is that we're privy to and we're privileged to, but hela no.
I
Yeah.
agree.
But for you two, especially with your ohana, you were born into this legacy that was already established for the most part, with hula and culture. So what was that, kuleana like growing up? I mean, could you, like if you didn't want a hula, was that not even an option?
No.
Yeah.
No. So not in my time or her time, but hopefully I become a better parent over time, and it was okay for the latter two kids born like 20 years after Tito, like choose. You know, we don't, whatever you're gonna do, function in it and stay connected. And maybe they chose to go to do other things for like 6 months, but somehow, some way, they always came back to hula. Even my third son, Kawila, he grew up in hula into his young adulthood, and then he stopped, and somehow along the line, especially after the Mauna, he came back to it strongly, like last year before last year. So it's the tide of what people consider legacy is I think the variable is time is not the variable. I think space is the variable.
And you don't, it would that's the, that is the exact reason that we've accomplished so much without feeling the sense that, without feeling a sense of anxiety or urgency in that. Meaning, when you come from a multi-generational, multi-dimensional lineage, you're less concerned about the here and now, and you're sort of already projecting yourself 100 years into the future. So it's how we've successfully leapfrogged through time, and how we move through time.
Yeah, I just want to echo that because this is a common question, the question of legacy. I don't know that I personally believe in what legacy means, or what kind of intensity or what kind of definition people like to legacy for folks is like, hiya, like I can't do it. But I think if you take away that word, and because people with multiple generational, multiple dimensional kuleana, I think we all sort of know that so long we're in the space, and so long as we're engaging the exact or close to exact sort of embodiment of the things, then you're never going to forget that. So even if we take someone who's been on the mainland, or who's been asked not to practice, they could be in Hawaii and they could be full Hawaiian and they could be around all the Hawaiian things, but because of their education or religion has been asked not to practice that thing. If that person becomes inspired one day, and then if somehow, some way we get that person in a particular space and engaging a hana no eau or hula or an oli, just engaging the body in a certain way, all of that comes back. And I would call that legacy more than I would call this thing that we've inherited. Yeah. Not that you asked what is the definition, but I figure you're a pretty smart guy, so we may as well talk about it.
Not as smart as you two educated people here on stage. You know a lot more than me. But another question I had, maybe I hope this isn't as common, or as dumb as it might seem, because I'm being serious. I'm being serious when I ask this.
Yeah.
You know how like all Filipinos, they can sing, you know? Portuguese, they're better at hosting a podcast just like this, right? I want to know, like, do all Kanakaʻoles know how to oli, hula? Or are you born into just like that talent?
I actually think most of the family can
Yeah.
oli. Not everyone's been trained.
But just by being around it so much,
I
you're
think
like,
by
you have
being
that.
around it, if they chose, even the folks that are on the periphery, you know, because not everyone is engaged 100% all the time, yeah? So if there's this many Keali'ikanaka'oles, then there's only this many people who are active practitioners.
Also, not to treat the Kanakaʻole, lineage as a total monolith.
Yeah.
We're one branch of multiple branches of Kanakaʻole.
Yeah.
And are we all related? Yes.
Yeah, totally.
Yes, but our very specific branch of Kanakaʻole, who descend from 4 siblings, have through the collusion of the cosmos happen to be able to do such, because and I mean that because within our branch is not just us, Luka and Edith Kanakaʻole's progeny, but it's also multiple generations ago. It's also Keali'ikahaka Kanakaʻole's descendants, whom are Tutupuku'i.
Keli'ikipi and Keli'ipio.
So yeah, but in our immediate family, from Luka and Edith, yes.
Yeah, most of us can.
And their siblings as well.
And grandchildren.
Their grandchildren, our Keali'ikanaka'ole Iowanes and such, are also.
The other thing I want to clarify is that the Kanakaʻole that's the visual name, but it's actually from the Kanakaʻole comes the ritual of the pele. That's where that comes from. And then it's actually my grandmother who was a Kanaile Kinau from Niuli'i Kohala. They moved to Waimanu, they moved to Waipio, and they moved to Honolulu, whose mother was a Keli'ikueva Ahi'ena from Puna. So it's that line who is the hula line, who from whom we inherit the pele and the kapō traditions. And then that was taught to us by another line of practitioners from Maui. So it's a beautiful. It all gets wrapped up into who is Kanakaʻole, but actually that whole hula piece comes from my grandmother Kanaile Kinau Kili'ikueva Ahiena side. And then the ritual piece that happens at the pele, for the pele, around the pele, that's the Kanakaʻole. Interesting, yeah?
And you just learned this growing up?
Yeah.
Or did you have to dig into it later?
No.
Just you knew it?
You gotta know.
Okay, you gotta know.
You gotta know because you're always engaged in ritual. And if you don't know that, then you know more business. Yeah.
Okay. So going kind of back to your upbringing, when you ended up graduating from Waiakea.
Indeed.
And then what did you do after that? And how did you get to where you're at right now?
What did I do after graduating from Waiakea? Well, I started college, and then it took me another 10 years to finish my BA. And then it took me another 5 years to finish my master's. And then around when I got my master's is this about the same year where I puka'd. My mother decided that she was teaching hula, that she wanted to expand that knowledge system into the community more deeply. And so this is where she begins to inspire like ka'awea around the crater, and then I forget the name of the movement that went around the islands, Noi Noi Nos. And then what began there is actually a level of comfortability for the larger Hawaii community in ritual. So no longer she could not stand that our own people were uncomfortable in ritual, that our own people were more comfortable singing "O McDonald Had a Farm" rather than chanting their ancestors and the elements. And so she dove into that, and not everyone agreed with that, but she did it anyway. And so she retired her place as Kumuhula, and then asked my sister, didn't. She just said, okay, you're going to be Kumuhula now. And we're like, oh no, don't want to. But we knew when we were children that that's what it was going to be.
Yeah, yeah.
So we did that, and she moved on. And then, did you ask for up until 2026 or just a little bit after?
Oh, yeah, share as much as you want to, yeah.
And then when you engage as Kumuhula, you're also master of ritual, and you're also, you should also become a master teacher. So not like, you suck. Like that kind of master teacher, but a master teacher that hopefully develops yourself while you're developing your learners. That's the hope. That's my hope. And so did that for a little while, and then co-created Hawaiian Studies 2-year programming at Hawaii Community College. And then was at the same time executive director of the Edith Kanakaʻole Foundation. And then in 2016, I left all of that and opened my own company because, like my mother, my heart wanted to expand what all of the treasures that I had learned up until that point. And I wanted to, there's so many people who are so hungry, and Hālau is exclusive. You have to have that kind of commitment. So I was super sad, but I left Hālau, I left the foundation, and I left the community college to move more into stewardship, conservation, land rematriation,
Community engagement.
and community
Huge
engagement.
community engagement.
Yeah.
Similarly, same after Navahi, I actually started college, my college courses while I was a sophomore at Navahi. So
Yeah, because they have that program, I remember, yeah. Yeah.
They did.
Yeah, that's why when I went to Kaiser my senior year in Oahu, I just had half day because I had more credits.
Because we had excelled,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, because by the time we were freshman, sophomore, we had already had enough credits to graduate at Navahi. So so I immediately went in because Edith Kanakaʻole Foundation was still giving out, and I think still gives out scholarships for Hawaii Island Kanaka, whom are going specifically into fields of study pertaining to ʻike Hawaii. Right. And then, so I graduated early, took almost 4 years off, and then in between my BA, in between my bachelor's and taking the couple years off, I was still in Hālau. I was in Hālau since I was a kid, from the womb to the tomb. And then I had accidentally become a recording artist. Out of
Accidentally? How you stubbed your toe and you let out a beautiful.
You know what? Almost. Bless my speaking on my toe. We're just talking about it. You know when you buy the cheap pairs of shoes.
Make sure we're filming above the feet. They gotta pay extra for that.
Yeah, my baby toe's been dead since like 2015.
Yeah.
When you buy the cheap Payless pumps, and then you two-stepping in a club,
Don't do it.
and then
It's
your
not
baby toe
that
dead.
trouble, you guys.
Then your toenail fall off. Anyway,
I have different toenail falling off experiences, but you can continue.
Mama uano. And then I accidentally, because I didn't mean to. I initially, because Mom was one. She was the
Oh,
recording.
yeah, no, I forgot to say that.
Hello.
Merrie.
And then, by the way, she also decided to become a recording artist because she'd been developing music. So I was always around it, obviously. With Hālau. So Auntie Nalani was singing in. We don't do CDs in Hālau. It was always live singing. So Grandma was singing at home. Grandma was screaming opera arias at home, in soprano, and in the key of H.
Oh.
All my life. Still
For
does.
real.
Still
No,
does.
for real.
But
Coming in decimals.
You won the 1999 Female Vocalist of the Year. Was that you? Okay, cool. I can't trust anything on the internet these days. I'm scarred.
Among a couple of other years of her success as a recording artist. And then, and then I was a kid, so she was a single mom. It was a single mom kind of on the homestead experience, right? Kids having kids. And so I grew up with, on the one hand, there was a particular pressure and journey. But in terms of personal development, what was always encouraged is the gumption to be able to stand on your own 2 feet. If that's anything I learned from Grandma and Mom.
Yeah.
So while she was grouchy, love you, Mom, but I didn't. We used to. She would take us touring because it was important. She's like, no, we're family. We're going to do this as a family, and in fact, she built her entire recording career around fostering of, if I'm going to do this gig in New York at Carnegie Hall with Kili'i Rachel, then I'm going to take my kids with me. Everybody's coming. And my cousins and everybody we grew up with in the garage, and we're going to sing together.
Wow.
But that's the kind of family we still are. So that was necessary foundational work, right? And then, but I was still like any other child or teenager of a single parentage household, just trying to figure themselves out, let alone the parental figures around you, just trying to figure them out.
Totally. Like you
other
said,
out.
kids having kids. Like
Kids
that's I appreciate
Right?
my parents so much. It's like I'm at the age older than the age that my parents had me.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine having a kid and trying to do all the things that I'm doing, plus raising a bunch of kids.
Right.
Taking them to school, cooking, all the sports practices.
What?
I
That's
would
my
complain
point.
when I come home from college and I don't want to take Kuru's paddling practice. And that's all I got to do the whole entire day. Yeah.
I didn't have that level of appreciation and humility to appreciate Mom and Grandma and the ecosystem that we were raised under until I was an adult.
Usually that's how it happens.
But also justifiably so, right? We're not very good at communication. Funny enough, we can speak to the masses, but speak to each other. Merrie,
Just learning how.
Yeah.
it
Interesting,
just
yeah.
echoes down a chamber.
Yeah.
So that's why I say accidentally. A friend of mine from Kona had bet me. He said, "Oh, Aloha festivals, they're kind. They give you money if you enter this falsetto competition." And then the Kindy Sprout falsetto competition. Uncle Kindy, Clyde Kindy Sprout, was a famous storyteller from Pololu, Kohala. And so I entered it, and then I won. And then that's why I accidentally sort of fell into recording. Was I good?
And
Merrie,
then
no. Merrie, no, that came.
Nā Hōkū's later. You must be kind of good.
I mean, good come during the work, right? Just do the
think
work.
so.
Yeah. Just
do
get
the work.
started and you learn along the way.
Makahana ka ʻike, just do it.
Oh, yeah.
And you'll arrive. So I accidentally became a recording artist in Lu, and then a 7-year gap, I decided to finish my master's degree, got my master's degree, and then went back to recording, and then slowly got back into ʻike Hawaii and consulting or consultation work with ʻike Hawaii. Worked at Edith Kanakaʻole Foundation with my grandmother and Papaku Makavalu, her entire Hawaiian intellectual framework of learning, and then all of a sudden, I'm 43 and I got to work on a score and a film score and a soundtrack with Hans Zimmer.
That's Chief of War.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
as soon as we heard in the beginning, yep, that's Kaumakaiwa. And then
So-
we love seeing you inside there too.
it's a happy accident, maybe not, because I mean, it was sort of in the, I didn't expect any less of myself.
It's a good progression.
Because I needed to venture off on my own. In that, so I too, as in Olapa, as a student, I left Hālau Kekuhi for a few years, and then came back to Hawaii Island to finish. And then my auntie said, Auntie Nalani said, okay, I'm ready to make you kumu. So, and we don't do it as formally as most Hālau do, our pi'i kuahu. And so in 2014, I pi'i kuahu'd. And just as Mom was transitioning into other fields of passion in her life, I then stepped in with Auntie to
That
help
was good timing.
my mama's sister, Auntie Hui, and Auntie Nalani. Finished my training and was Kumu Hula along with Auntie and Grandma Dem, my Auntie and Auntie Hui and Nadem of Hālau Kekuhi, and also came to a point where I needed to expand and stand on my own 2 feet. If there's anything I learned from this resilient one right here is not to be afraid and to lean into your evolution and lean into your growth and love you through it, love yourself through that growth.
It's so amazing the things we can learn by just observing, right? And so, like, you didn't say these things. You didn't physically be like, do this, repeat after me. You just wahana. And it's because of what you did and who you were, it trickled down into your, the next generations.
Yeah.
I love that.
And I think intuitively, like Tita's progression, it might have not been like a goal, a musical goal, but the intuitive part kind of already knows what does my soul want to experience now, and then you go that, and the thing that makes you go, oh yeah, like that's the thing, right? So if somebody invited me to be a business, a businesswoman at 50, I'm going to be 60 this year. So if someone invited me to be a businesswoman at 50 years old, I would have told them, I don't think so. You need to leave right now. But it just happened because I think that was the path. That's what the soul was looking for, and that's how it could be achieved.
Yeah, I feel like we always end up where we're supposed to end up. Like this podcast happened the way it was supposed to happen, right?
Yeah.
And we're over here, and I'm learning so much. And I was always curious about your family and this, because there's a lot of you, and we know the names, right? And it's very surface level information. It's like we know Hālau Kikuhi performs on Wednesday and the Hoikin night. I know, these are the Kumus. This is this is the mom. That's the grandma. Okay, that's the great grandma. That's the nephew.
The auntie. That's the sister.
There's so many.
That's
Like
the cousin.
I'm confused about it. So it's cool that I can learn a little bit, but we might need a whole family
No,
chart.
for sure, like a big mind map, a crazy mind map. But can I say something about the since you mentioned it about the Now, this is truly a legacy, is this being invited year after year for the last, 30 some odd years to do that Wednesday night ho'ike. My auntie dropped a piece of really yummy information one year, and nobody really asked. She just drops pieces of information, and kind of good if you're around, when she does. And the information was, oh, I know, people were complaining. And it wasn't an outright complaint, but just people on the side going, oh my God.
In the Hula community?
No, not in the Hula community, in Hālau. Oh my God, why you gotta do this again?
Civil War kind.
No, just why you gotta do this again?
Complacent.
Why, complacency, just a boredom, I guess, of their selves. And then she answered in that moment. She said, you know why we're doing this? You know why we're doing this? That's the sacrifice. Somebody got to drop that first sweat. Somebody got to be up there and make that mohai happen. Make that first sacrifice
You gotta
happen.
pay at the pump.
Gotta pay.
The
It's
universe.
expensive these days, though.
The universe requires.
It's either
Mohai.
expensive at the pump before you pump the gas, or it's doubled the expense later on.
Yeah. So you might as well do it.
Exactly.
It'll cost
before-
you and your wailua.
Yeah.
And your spirit.
And we're talking like
Yeah.
the universal, like the Hula people will understand that.
Yeah.
The universal law of kanawai of stasis.
Yeah. They say
Of
if
balance
you-
and
If you
stasis requires that you have to mohai something.
Yeah.
If it's not going to come out of you, it's going to come out of your next generation. So
So that's it.
pay your due, and do no namu.
Yeah.
Make the sacrifice, make the sweat, make the blood, make the year.
And
Yeah.
we've dropped blood and sweat in preparation on that stage for however long we've been doing it. And my auntie's done it all the way up until last year. And my sister's there, and
That's what
Tita's
we're-
brother, and
My nieces and nephews.
nieces, nephews, daughters, all the people. And the reason why they do that is for that. And so
It is central to our tenant, as to our kukulu, our pillars, as at our pillar philosophies as a family. But that doesn't mean, and it continues to resonate, those impacts that we make and the contributions and the sacrifices by way of music, by way of academia, by way of ecology, by way of discussing community engagement and sustainability, and talking about Aloha Aina and Aloha Aina engagement from Mauna Kea to Kaho'olawe to all of the Alpuhakuloa and all of the other movements that our family has been a part of. So those are simply echoes of what happens on that kahua hula.
Amazing. Before we take a quick break and go into the social media questions, I would love to educate people a little bit more about Edith. You know, that you are named after your grandmother.
sure.
Gotta make sure it's great
grandmother.
grandmother. And, you know, if you're from Hilo, you know the Edith Kanakaʻole Stadium, you know.
Yeah.
Whether you play sports across at Wong Stadium or you go to the events at...
But whether you play sports or hula,
It doesn't matter.
have to do
You
hula.
know.
Thank
You know.
Thank you.
I'm surprised that some people, they don't. I was like, I'm gonna interview, the Kanakaʻoles, and if they're not in the hula world, or in the kind of like Hawaiiana, they might not know.
Merrie,
But-
most people still call the foundation, Aloha Edith Kanakaʻole Foundation. Hi, can I rent the, when is the Orchid Show? We don't know, man.
Can I rent the stadium?
Hi, can I speak to Edith? Please hold.
Oh, yeah.
Grandma, we got a live one. She's asking for your
You
mom.
gotta
She's
call
asking for the time
codes.
machine.
Yeah.
But just for people who are new to this, maybe they just
Yeah.
stumbled upon this episode and
Yeah.
they don't know the significance of it. I understand it to the extent of legend. How would you explain it to other people, and just with your ohana and everything that you both are doing?
Yeah.
For general context, Edith Kanakaʻole's mother, Kekuewa, affectionately called Mama Fuji, because of her second marriage. Her second husband was Papa Fuji, was a Japanese man. All of her children had come from her first marriage with John Kanaile, but who raised them, my grandmother and my auntie, that was our Papa Fuji. And so my great-great-grandmother, Kekuewa, was the first hula teacher of George Naʻope when he was about 3 or 4 years old. He would start going there because they all lived in Keaukaha.
Yeah.
They were all part of the first settlers of Keaukaha homestead. And so there were only 2 people teaching hula or any form of hula at the time when George was young, to my understanding. It was Kekuewa, and our family did kahiko mostly, and then Auntie Bella Richards' family, or her name was Rose Kuamo'o, and actually Kuai and Hanohano Jung's tutu, Auntie Lawae and Auntie Kaie, their mother was Rose Kuamo'o, and their sister was Bella Richards, who was another hula teacher who's some Kumu hula that enter Merrie Monarch can trace their hula lineage to. So Rose Kuamo'o was teaching awana and music, was a music teacher mostly. And so they would go to awana for her, and then a more traditional format or pre-musicianship hula forms to my great-great-grandmother. And so that's how we were connected to George, whom would eventually become the founder, along with Uncle Dottie, of the festival. And so it was we had already been and Uncle George is also from Ka'u. We're all from Ka'u. Kulu Maka is from Ka'u, the famous court chanter of Kalakaua and Emma. And Uncle George was born and raised in Ka'u as well.
Wow.
And so it's through that multi-generational pilina of Mama Fuji that we were already intimately connected to George, and then the Hālau and Edith became a central figure in the creation of
in the hula community, and therefore the larger cultural education community, because hula wasn't just about hula schools back then. Hula was a way to engage, like the Boy Scouts. You know, she was one of the first female Boy Scout leaders, because they couldn't find somebody back in her days. I guess she was maybe 30 years old back then. And so she taught the Boy Scouts how to sing, and they became the first singing Boy Scouts of the time. But so my grandmother was that sort of person. She was brought up in this major hula circle that I'm glad Kaumakaiwa sort of set that stage that had already had connections. And so when my grandmother steps in her time, if I was born in 1966, then I'm not a very good timeline person.
Okay.
She's the person in Keaukaha who is teaching all of the, she's teaching hula. And at that time, you could teach, she was teaching hula and all like the Polynesian dance repertoire, because that's what people were attracted to. And then that connection with Uncle George is a great jump-off point, because then she and Uncle George and some other kumu hula their age take hula out into the world, take to the Asias, to the Europes, to Mexico. And so that's when you see that that sort of pilina to hula and the world people.
And this was in the
began-
70s?
No. This was in the 60s, early
60s.
60s.
Early, okay.
Yeah, mid 50s, early 60s.
Oh,
I
okay.
think.
Oh, so before you.
Yeah, I'm talking. I'm talking
okay.
way before
Okay,
for
okay.
us. Sorry.
No worries.
So they were doing that in hula. At the same time, she began to teach. She's married to my grandfather. She was a stout Mormon. Therefore, she did not practice the hula kapu that her mother practiced. Her mother graduated at the age of 8 years old from a hula kapu practice.
Wow.
This same great grandmother of ours that Kaumakaiwa was talking about, Keali'ikanaka'ole aiha'a. So she was raised by her aunt and uncle, and was taught hula in a cave in Puna, and graduated at 8 years old. And
Like a literal cave?
yeah, like a literal cave.
Wow.
They built a hale. They built a series of lean-to hale pili in the cave as part of it, and one outside. And the kind they take you from birth. Soon as you're born, they give you a few weeks to nurse, and they take you immediately.
Oh.
Yeah.
And you don't see your birth family again until you're
Till you
done.
come back. Yeah. So
Oh,
my
very traditional.
sorry, yeah. But later on, my grandmother was then raised in a Mormon family, and then she became she married my grandfather fairly young, and they had 6 children in Keokaha. And they're a Mormon family, and
The
she
Mormons
was
at
still,
the time, can I just say this?
Yeah.
For a historical context, the Mormons were the Mormon church at the time and of the era were the only sect of Christianity at the time that would allow the indigenous population to speak their own language, and even eventually adapted all of their literature in the language of the people. And they were the only ones who also openly and freely allowed them to maintain genealogy, which is, of course, Polynesian hallmark. And they were the only ones who allowed the indigenous Hawaii to do hula.
Wow. Whereas Christianity didn't allow that.
Period. There were the Protestants weren't allowing it, Catholics weren't allowing it, and whomever else.
Yeah.
And so it was that fostering. It was that sort of compromise and understanding that appealed to a lot of
Hawaii.
Kanaka.
Yeah, yeah. So she was, she gave to her community through hula, but under the kind of the kanawai or the laws of the church, right? So she kept teaching hula to the larger community, and then she became an educator. She actually started the Hawaiian Studies program in the elementary school, and they started it with a group of other grandmothers at Keokaha School. They began to teach counting and Hawaiian poetry and hana no iao and singing and chanting and hula, and that sort of spurred the Hawaiian studies, the 4th to 7th grade movement. I don't know what it's called nowadays, the Kupuna program. And so she was doing that with young children, and then she was teaching youth and adults hula in the community. And then when she decided that college was the next place to go, teach the young adults. And so she began teaching the young adults there.
I think that was one of her biggest, if not the most
Impactful.
of her contributions to Hawaii, ʻike Hawaii, was she foresaw and foreshadowed that the final frontier of any colonized indigenous population is that of one's mind, is the independence of thinking and one's own intellectual and spiritual sovereignty completely and utterly depended on the fact that you could think for yourself and facilitate for yourself and articulate for yourself in the words of your kupuna and not have anybody else tell your story. That was her
her jam right there.
That was
Yeah.
if you want to talk legacy, that's it.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
the hula and the stuff. That's all. That's as friend. That's both very personal because it has to do with ritual, but it's also very visual.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the thing
Kinda
that
more
we're aesthetically
mainstream.
known
Yeah.
for,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But to me, that was her. I stand on that. I stand on that philosophy of hers.
Yeah, so do I.
Is that she could see that when she used to go home to my grandpa Luca, Grandma Pua said, Daddy, we gotta teach our people.
Yeah, yeah.
And we get that. I've heard it growing up. Mom students, grandma students, students of my great grandmother coming up to me and thanking me for it, like thanking me 4 generations later about the stuff that thank you for helping me to teaching me to be Hawaiian again. And my grandma Pua, one year she said something really interesting. She said, I don't know if our job was never to teach you how to be Hawaiian. Our job was always to help you remember.
Yeah.
Our responsibility and our legacy is to help people remember
Period.
who they are. And we do that very well.
Yeah.
Wow.
'Cause the how to be Hawaiian is out there all over.
Goes back to the
Yeah.
goes back to the ethos, the foundational philosophy of Edith, that if you keep this part independent, if you keep the air, the sovereignty of your mind and your intellect as a Kanaka Maoli,
Yeah.
free of any colonial oppression, then you're free to be Hawaii.
So this is the reason for all of the creation. This is the reason for why I decide to do what we need to do. That what Kaumakaiwa just said is the reason why Pua Kanahele went out and she and her group of people went and saved the bones
and championed the burial rights acts, and went out and championed gathering rights and fought against legislations that were going to cut us off from Aina. And Pilina Aina, and that's why we permeate so many levels and tiers of society.
because they never limited this.
Academia,
The sovereignty.
business, film, television.
Design.
But guess what? We all from the homestead. My mom was pregnant with my brother in 1984, and my grandfather was making her and my mother's sister, Auntie Hui, dig telephone post holes while I was an infant, and my brother, that's why he's a little bit rough but sharp, because she was out there, you know what I mean?
He was in the trenches.
We understood. It was because of Edith that we lived that sort of duality of or that sort of dichotomy of life, where on the one hand we were philosophers in academia, and permeating everything from politics to academia and entertainment, but we always went home.
Yeah.
To Aina Pula Pula, and we still gotta wake up and shovel the dog duru from my grandma's driveway, and they never let us get away from that because we started from that.
That's awesome. And that's the strongest thing that you could hold on to.
That's a good one.
Your body will change, the world will change,
sure.
gas prices will change.
For sure.
But you cannot change my mind.
No.
As long as I kupa'a.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
also why that's also why the core of us have never moved away for any length of time, much less at all.
Yeah.
It's because we've learned how to generationally weather the storm. We're thinking 100 years from now. Well, I thought it's really sweet that you get the 50th anniversary or 30th anniversary of my Hālau and 50th, and some people, and they're like, I think we kind of stop counting after 100. Because we're always thinking 5, 6, 7 generations ahead. And
5-year anniversary, 10-year anniversary.
Edith was Edith's dream was me. Edith's dream was Kuha'o.
Exactly.
Edith's dream was Nakapuahi, my sister's daughter.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's why we've never felt the pressure of being able to
Be Hawaiian or
be
not.
Hawaiian or kupuna or the
You
weight
just
of a
were.
legacy.
Yeah,
Because that
exactly.
was me'ole. The weight of a legacy was never never in the conversation.
Exactly. Yeah. It
Because
wasn't.
we're it.
Yeah.
The wish and the hope of my grandmother was that all of the things she had to fight for to just be mentioned are now second nature to us. Not a privilege,
Second nature.
it's second nature. So that all of the olelo, all of the hardships that came with fighting for Hawaiian language to be in our educational systems, and my mother's generation, whom were not a part of that, and who were completely, if not already, assimilated into American culture and not speaking, less than a generation. It's already second nature to us. And that's the whole point, guys.
That was the point.
So stop. You are what they were hoping for.
Yeah.
So live it.
Yeah.
Do the work. Mohai, that's your mohai. That's your sacrifice. And then your ultimate sacrifice is when you leave, you join your alo kupuna, and you pass, and you've uanoa. That's your that's your very last sacrifice and the most important one.
Wow.
Because it's not yours anymore. It's not yours anymore.
This is all so heavy and beautiful at the same time.
Right?
And mahalo for sharing all of that. And in the way you shared it as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's ever been explained to me or I've ever heard it explained like that. It just brings a whole new meaning to being here.
Yeah.
To being in Hila and watching Merrie Monarch. And like, yes, this hula is the performative side that, brings people, but it's the air.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my
That's so
God,
good.
That's it.
That's
But
amazing.
we are done. Goodbye.
and on that note, okay, mahalo for sharing that. We've talked about it on the podcast, about being Hawaiian. Beginning of me doing this podcast was just trying to figure out what being Hawaiian was. We've been doing this for 5 years.
Oh, cool.
And what drew people to the podcast was my genuine question of like, so if I look like this, am I still Hawaiian? But if I olelo, like that's my Hawaiian side. But then if somebody else doesn't olelo, does that still make them Hawaiian? Or what if you grew up outside of Hawaii, but you like so many questions and then so many people.
That's a lot.
There's a lot. There's a lot. So many episodes. We're just trying to figure out because
Yeah,
we don't.
got it,
There's
got it,
no
yeah.
answer.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
there's missing generations. There's
yeah.
missing like maybe
That's a reality.
you grew up a part of it. Like you weren't born into an ohana that had any culture.
You were born.
But you-
That's enough.
Yeah, but I think people don't know that. And I love
Yeah.
how you say we don't gotta learn how. We just gotta remember.
Yeah, you just
because
gotta remember.
what we do, we look at the
And do
past
the
for the
work.
answers. Yeah, nana ʻike kumu. Like the answers are there. We're asking all these modern people and so what is it like to be a Hawaiian? It's like read books. Look back and how they thought and how they lived. And
Create.
No, but see, they're stuck at the modality, Mary. They're stuck at the medium.
Yeah.
The medium is the textbook. The medium is the kumu.
Yeah,
The
it's not.
medium is the classroom. The medium is the intermediary.
The hula,
The-
the chant, the ritual.
doing all of that make you
the doing.
more Hawaiian, or is it just like if you're craving that, is that steps to feeling more Hawaiian?
I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah.
What I think.
Because feeling that's entirely up to you, Mo.
Yeah. It's a
That-
personal journey.
Exactly.
Exactly. So why are you going to ask somebody about your personal journey?
Yeah,
Mary,
yeah.
nobody knows.
I feel
Yeah.
I'm confident in my Hawaiian driving my hybrid truck and not wearing a gold chain and
hybrid truck.
Ford Maverick, 40 miles per gallon.
Mamara, okay, both are valid. Two things can be true simultaneously. Yes?
Yes.
On the one hand, so long you're doing something, and you're doing it, in the hana, and you're doing the work, and giving the sacrifice, and you're putting the sweat equity and the years equity and the commitment equity and the blood equity. Okay, but then you can, on the one hand though, the other thing that can still be true is that my mom told me something, because get these trolls, and they like to, and we all have our snide little comments about
Fan
what
mail,
we think
fan
about,
mail is what they call them.
Fan mail.
Yeah.
People be trolling and they have this comment to say about this halau, or this comment to say about this Hawaiian gathering, or this comment to say about this Hawaiian organization, right? We got our opinions about each other. And then mom actually, and we kind of, some people crave that cynicism as some poo-poos, but it's so stupid because you end up choking on it at the end. Mom, one year, like 15 years ago, she goes, it's not, Tira, it's nobody's kuleana and it's nobody's place to vavahi somebody else's kuahu. Meaning, it's not my kuleana to go there and vavahi what it is and the path it is that you decided to go on, and the journey and the modus operandi that you chose to enter your ʻike Hawaii journey in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or it's not my place, it's not nobody else's place, but the people who are doing the to mind their business.
Yeah. Basically, in modern terms, like, don't yuck somebody's yum.
I like that.
Yeah.
And nobody is the Hawaiian cultural police.
It seems like there's a lot.
Once you become a Hawaiian cultural police, what you have to be careful of is you've got to ask yourself the question, why did I make it my business to judge that person's quality or quantity of Hawaiianness? Why did I make it my business? And most of that answer is going to come back to the fact that you're missing something.
So the ololi to that olola is that vai ololi to that vai olola is, again, two things can simultaneously be true, even on two opposite ends of the philosophical spectrum, right? We don't, nobody need to police nobody. And why did you make it your kuleana to do that anyway? Don't do the job of the colonizer. They're doing a good job enough. Help your people, kukulu, build them up. But we can also challenge them to say, okay, now that you're at a now that you are doing it, I want to see excellence, because right now you're only half-assing it.
There you go.
Right now you're only doing 30%. Right now you're only doing 50%. Right now you're only doing transactional Hawaiian.
Yeah.
Your transactional practitionership.
So one of our kuleana is to elevate.
Yeah, we'll hold
Not to
people
police that,
accountable.
but we elevate that.
Yeah.
Elevate.
And we elevate that by challenging them, and we elevate that by challenging them to come into a shared space.
Yeah.
And aloha healo, going, okay, now we want to see that.
Yeah, not social media
Substance.
is not
No.
the way to do it. Hearing it from somebody that you don't know is not the way to do it. It has to come from a trusted, I respect the both of you. If you told me something about hula, I would listen 100%. Even though if you told me something about, I don't know, just like fantasy football, I probably won't listen. I might just because I'm scared of you. But
Fantasy football that was my name in high school. How you know? You're familiar with my work. You've heard of my work.
yes, very, very, very known in my community. But basically, you wanna hear it from somebody who's doing the work, from somebody who is in it, and somebody that has experience with it. So for somebody that's just like a random person on social media, or just somebody who's not doing what you're doing, it's hard to take that advice or even just listen to them. And I
just say thank you.
Yeah.
Say, thank
We
you.
get so much of that in comments.
All drag is valid.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this is so amazing, and shout out to Edith Kanakaʻole and her legacy.
Oh, we didn't even finish your story. Yep.
Well, they're also in celebrating the 50th anniversary of the movement of Kanaloa and the founding of, or the impetus of the Kaho'olawe movement. Uncle Walter Reedy folks. And Uncle Emmett Ma, and of course George Helm, and Auntie Nalani and Grandma Edith were central, and Grandma Pua were all central to the establishment of that movement, of the Native Hawaiian Burial Rights Acts in the 1984 and 5 were founded by my grandparents, and we also again permeate all levels of academia as well. So the hula is but a small. The hula is sort of just the ecological framework of the greater work that we do.
Exactly, but I do think I don't want us to disregard the impact that the hula has had.
It's central to everything we do.
Yeah.
That the hula has had on movements, and because hula, and you can read it almost anywhere, besides the taro farming, which was not in education until the mid-70s, and ʻōhi'a, like that wasn't a thing until very, very later on. And I mean, people might have been practicing it, but the hula was the less apologetic cultural practice of the times from the mid-60s, because it was still being done in Waikiki and in hula shows and Kodak hula shows, and we may not have been doing the rituals as they might have been done early on, but
we did.
It was in there.
Even
but
that
was
was
a romanticized version of it,
but
right?
even with the profane comes the profound.
Yeah.
That such is the nature of, and this is something Auntie Nalani believed in wholeheartedly, is because it is the secular, is the hana kaulike, the laborious aspect of hula, the picking of your hau, the sawing down of 175 hau logs to strip so you can make your whole set in 6 months, and you want to see it on the Merrie Monarch stage. From busting your knuckles and from busting up your knuckles in blisters and 6 months of laborious work comes the protocol. That's the ritual.
Yeah.
The ritual is in the laborious hana kaulike. And so it is through the pedestrian and very mundane protocol and things that practical aspects of life, utilitarian
that you learn the sacred.
That you learn sacred.
Yeah.
That you are introduced to sacred. So this is why we all start by Grandma Edith waking mom guys up early in the morning. Hui, come, we go pick limu in Keaukaha early before the sun.
Fishing.
Kamakoi, whether it's mahi ai, mahi kalo, or mahi or lo'i kalo, those that hana kaulike, that laborious utilitarian aspect of our everyday aspect of our kanakaship, our practitionership, is what informed our position as ritual experts in front of a kuahu. When we were placed in front of an ahu or in front of a kuahu or on a heiau, we knew exactly what to do. Because we started where? Huli kalima ilalo, and we started
In the bush.
in the mundane.
Yeah. Oof, such a good life lesson. And not just for, culture, just for life.
Yeah.
It transcends so much.
The jester
yeah.
is
Yeah.
the jester is often the most is also the kahuna, and you sometimes you don't know whether I don't know whether to laugh or cry. That's that.
Yeah.
That's the cusp. That is the space in which ritual exists, in which kanaka, in the sort of in this contraflow existence of Kanaka that we find ourselves, where we feel like we have to have one foot in the present and past. That's that constant push and pull that we feel. And so instead of sort of backing away from it, our forebearers said, no, this is exactly where you need to be. Feel uncomfortably comfortable. Now, holomua. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's awesome. We have questions more about kind of what you were just talking. Is there any final things you'd like to share about Grandma Edith before we take a break?
No, I mean, so when the U.S. Treasury and under the leadership of Maisie decided to honor her with the first Native Hawaiian woman's coin.
Yeah.
In 2023.
It was a part of a series of indigenous women across the spectrum, Asian American, Native American, etc.
So we had to amass a whole bunch of information around my grandmother. So I think if people want to learn more about her, she really was a grandma true and true, you know. She was a little bit shorter than I am right now, and a little bit more fluffy than I am, super sweaty and super busy all the time. Busy all the time. She served all the time. She served until she died.
Wow.
And
People were visiting her in the hospital.
on her deathbed, people were asking her
guidance.
questions. And my mother and my auntie said, "Why are you letting them do this? You're about to die." And she says, "Let them come.
That's the final sacrifice.
Let them come." And so she was that person, and at the same time, she taught us the simplicity of life by teaching us how to take care of a dying relative in the house, you know.
How to prepare the house and the space for that relative's transition.
Yeah.
Wow.
How to make ake. She was the ake lady of Keaukaha.
What is
And
ake?
liver, ake.
Like
You never used to have that in luau's. They stopped serving that by the
I
time
don't
you were
think
on
so.
And they like
Yeah,
it.
cow liver.
Oh, what the heck?
Cut them up. They used to serve them with opihi, and they used to lomi them with opihi.
Oh, wow.
And if you had the right ake maker, it was, according to my sister, but I didn't like it.
I'm not that
According to my
indigenous.
sister, according to my sister, it was like eating M&Ms. But in any case, my grandma was the ake lady, and she didn't drive. She tried driving once. It didn't work out. So my grandfather drove her all over. I remember being in their car, and she would drive the whole island, and we would stop at somebody's house in Puna, in Ka'u, in Kona. And interestingly, I connected with these people's mo'opuna like decades later, and saying that I remember my grandmother used to say that your grandmother used to come to our house, and I wanted to introduce us to you. And she was that person that volunteered to be the Boy Scout leader, and that taught simple words and phrases to adults and children just so that she could hear people speaking Hawaiian language again around her. And so I would just go to the Edith Kanakaʻole Foundation.org website, where they have information about my grandmother if people wanted to learn more.
Awesome. Last thing before we take a break, we have giveaways every single episode. So we like to ask the guests for a secret code or phrase. It could be a word, it could be a phrase that they have to send to my assistant, Nicole, at nicole@keepitaloha.com, so that they can get extra 10 entries into the giveaway. So is there a word or phrase that you can think of that the audience has to send to us? I think I forgot to do it last episode, so I'm doing it now. So if Bombay, I forget again.
Think of a phrase?
Or a word.
phrase.
It could be a single word. It could be hilo. It could be kukia imon. It could be whatever comes to mind. It could be eat it. It could be hula. Merrie Monarch.
Air's gonna be mine. I thank Edith for her daughter and her daughter's daughter for the most meaningful of gifts and sacrifices that they could have left me is my sovereignty and my sovereignty of mind and my ea of indigeneity, and the way in which I move through this life is with the confidence and the power of that ea. And I have moved through my entire life experience and journey with that confidence, not because of a name recognition, but because of that ea. And the independence of intellect and the sovereignty of my mind and my wailua. So
that's actually the word I was thinking of. So you read my mind and you chose it. Are we cool with that? Yeah.
That's great.
EA. If you guys can spell it, they're probably people are like, "How do you spell that?"
Think for yourself.
EA. Yeah. All right. So mahalo for that. Make sure you guys enter. We'll take a quick shishi break and be right back with social media questions. Before we continue with this episode, I gotta show love to our friends at Hawaiian Airlines because right now they're running their biggest credit card giveaway ever, and this one is actually crazy. All 2026 long, if you're using the Hawaiian Airlines World Elite MasterCard, every single swipe counts as an entry into their sweepstakes. Just like us this year on the pod, they're going big. Every single week, 7 people will win 100,000 Atmos reward points. And every month, 1 person wins 1 million points. That's 44 million points given out this year. Imagine how many places you could go with that many points. So the more you use your card, the more chances you get to win. And if you're a resident residing here in Hawaii, it gets even better. You'll earn 50% bonus points on all purchases, up to 5,000 bonus points during the promotional period. Winners get contacted directly, so if you see something from Martin Kane, don't skip over it. That could be your points right there. Restrictions apply, no purchase required. See rules. Ends December 31st, 2026 at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. If you want to learn more or enter, check out hawaiianairlines.com/greatpointsgiveaway. Good luck. All right, we're back from a quick shishi break. Mahalo to our drink sponsors. Harder's Hawaii, right over here. I got this nice Hilo Aloha koozie too, keeping it warm. I don't like my sparkling water cold, that's why. So this is perfect for me. You're not drinking one. You might be drinking a different substance off camera.
Oh no, I love Lili. Oh
But
no.
no, so I have this box for you guys. It's a
thanks.
makana for you to end.
Oh, it says no calories. What?
0 calories, 0 sugar, 0 sweeteners, locally made.
We're talking dirty.
Yeah. Shout out to Harder's Hawaii for the Ono drinks. All right, we're gonna get right into the social media questions. Sorry, let me just.
So does that mean that's people who write to you and have questions for your guests?
Yeah. So
Day before yesterday?
yeah, yesterday
nice.
I posted. So usually I post something on Instagram before the guest comes on, and I announce who the guest is, and then people can leave questions.
Okay.
So the first question comes from our good friend of the pod, past podcast guest. This is Ira Love.
Aw, Ira.
She says, "How do you embody your authentic self when the world wants you to conform?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of what you just
I
talked
don't
about
know,
earlier.
because
Yeah.
I've never, strangely enough, that kind of, a lot of those social anxieties and insecurities had crept up independently from my upbringing, because I was raised oka'aina. I don't care what you are, who you think you are. We all gotta do the work. We're all doing the same work.
There was never a point where you weren't as confident as you were right now.
I don't know. Again, it had less to do with that sort of superficial notion or superficial definition of or the artifice of confidence, and it had more to do with the idea that I was raised with a certain sovereignty of and independence of mind, and that is sort of that's been my armor, and
Yeah.
was that I was doing the work.
Yeah. Like, say whatever you want to me. I know my truth.
Say
Yeah.
whatever you like,
Yeah.
but I did.
Yeah.
I'm doing.
Yeah, yeah,
And I
yeah.
am. So, so there was never any kanalua about that. How do you?
What was the question again? Can you say the question
How
one
do you
more time?
embody your authentic self when the world wants you to conform?
Yeah. How do you embody your authentic self?
I mean, you broke down barriers, so many
Yeah,
barriers, and
yeah.
trailblaze
I mean,
for a lot of people.
And I mean, you can ask my students or my children or my grandchildren. I roll in the grass when I feel like rolling in the grass. So, sometimes the only things I might not be confident about is how I'm articulating my emotions, because that's something that wasn't allowed early on in life, and so as a later part of my life, I'm still learning how to do that really, really well. Aside from that, I laugh when I feel it's funny, whether or not this situation calls for a funny gesture. I will stand up and give you money if I think that's what the moment calls for. I'm probably the most inappropriate person in the crowd.
Second.
People are
That's where you get it from.
people sitting next to me will go like that when I woo woo or when I stand up and just get up and hug. I can walk into a room of businessmen and totally break down the in the room. The tightness people feel, that how people feel they have to act in a certain place. And so I cannot really relate to the question. I understand what the words are. I would say, girl, roll in the grass. Just roll in the grass.
Move through life with the grace and fortitude that you are who your ancestors were dreaming about, that you are who your ancestors wished for. And everything, anything else?
And
or it's
whoever
not-
you
is-
are,
does-
whatever
does
version you
not
are, that is
pertain-
exactly
does not
what-
pertain or contribute to your wailua.
Exactly.
Anything
exactly.
else?
Or make pretend you're a water buffalo.
Yeah. But I like that. Just pretend like, even if you're not confident, even if you have to fake it till you make it, pretend this is what you're meant to be.
No, but even
Yeah.
then you're not faking.
Yeah.
Because you got to do the work. No
Yeah.
matter if you're fumbling through life without any particular focus or end goal, the fact that you're you're fumbling
Is
through
the
life.
work.
That's part of the sacrifice,
Yeah.
and that's part of your learning.
Kind of like the journey is the destination.
The journey is the journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The journey is the
Yeah,
journey.
yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
And yeah, relax. Relax.
Yeah. Relax. Chill.
Relax.
Great question, Irie.
Good question.
Thank you,
Mahalo,
T.
Sarah.
I see you soon.
We'll probably see her this week at Merrie Monarch, guarantee.
I know.
All right, next question comes from Kekuhi Pu'uone.
That's my sister.
She's on stage right now.
Oh,
Go
right on.
bless. Go bless.
Good luck to them.
Yeah.
She says, what inspires you both about each other?
I think Kaumakaiwa is a genius.
I'm learning that, if
I
I didn't
think-
know already.
You know why? Because even she doesn't say the same rhetoric. She lives, you know what she just say about like the sovereignty of one's mind. Like it's evident. Like it's tangible. And so that's what always that always strikes me. That when I hear her say something, or I'm even listening to her music, or I'm listening to how she's processing things, and I just stop and say, she's a fucking genius. Yeah. And so that's what amazes me about Tita.
Beat that.
She, and I talk about this with my siblings often. When we get to have some philosophical and thought-provoking conversation. In any other social circumstance, we were a statistic. In any other social circumstance, in any other familial environment, familial and social environment, the statistics would suggest that we would not, we would have a much harder, difficult time and a much more difficult life. And then, in fact, it was just day before yesterday. A Saturday when the day of my sister's concert here at the Palace, and my siblings and I were texting together. I said, we're this way because she, again, statistically, we would have been, our circumstances, I think, would have been much different. But that she believed in, she was 15 when she had me. She was 15, and there was, being 15 in the 80s, pregnant.
Shame.
So it was a life of shame, and we saw her hold that shame for most of our life, and some of that kind of lead onto us. That second degree, third degree of shame, because the people around her were treating her like that. But she never gave up. And even through spouses, she never gave up. And so you want to talk resilience, you want to talk aiha'a, and this deep sense of humility. Because, she did a lot.
Supermom.
We could have been much worse. But she still chose us. Even when we didn't think that she chose us. Even when we didn't understand. Even when we were fighting. Even when we were
Suffering.
When we were hurt people. And when we were in our own pain, she still loved us. And I would like to think that that's where her name Kekuhi comes from. And I would like to think that that's the part of her her namesake, that she that love endured, and that love and deep compassion. That to me is genius.
From one genius to another.
You know? And fearlessness.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Wow. Look at you two. You'll make people cry. Yeah.
Tui.
This is a long time coming.
Yeah.
This is a long time coming.
It's well deserved.
it
I
is.
mean,
Yeah.
I give so much credit to my parents. I come from a divorced family, and they made it so easy for us, but I know it wasn't easy for them.
We're still doing the work.
Yeah.
The work will never be finished.
It never.
But again, it's entirely now. it's entirely up to us what we do with that havina.
Totally. Yeah. We make sure we see the lessons, and we make sure we take the good stuff, we leave the bad stuff, and we ho'omo.
Yeah, even the no more good, no more bad, just is.
Experience.
Just
It's
is.
just experiences.
And then, my grandma Edith, when she got the Lifetime Achievement Award at the Hōkū's in 1979, before the year she passed, and she started her acceptance speech with a
The chant that we just did.
part of the chant that we did, and then she said, "And that is life,
He did, yeah.
and that is life."
Well, sister asked a good question.
I know.
Mary.
This one is a little bit lighter. What's your favorite genre outside of Mele Hawaii, and why?
Oh,
That's our follow-up
dang.
question.
Genre-less. Same
So eclectic.
Mary, same way
Yeah.
I feel about food, it's to do with my mood. If I feel like listening to Bad to the Bone from George Thorogood for that day, then I feel like listening to it. If I feel like listening to WAP from one of my lo'ea, Cardi B, nah.
Yeah. The good sister.
The blessed virgin, nah. And then for me, the musical genre depends on my mood and what I need for that day, because this is why music and dance is imperative to the human condition, because it's the only, I consider it a natural resource.
Yeah,
That
I
it's
do
the
too.
only natural resource, that it's the only thing that we can produce as Kanaka without consuming something else.
Yeah.
To grow kalo, we gotta break ground. We gotta move earth. So there's some kind of alteration of aina that has to happen. But to just mohai leo and mohai aloha, for free. You don't gotta touch nothing. You don't have to alter nothing in the landscape to give that same sacrifice and give that same amount of energy. So, I kind of feel like a natural resource. It really depends on how I'm vibing on the day.
Yeah,
Sometimes
yeah.
I beachy and I like Rage Against the Machine or Nirvana or
Yeah.
Or some AC/DC.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I'm 1,000%.
Same.
I don't have any faves, any favorite genre. It all depends what my wailua needs that day. You know, if it's Auntie Agnes Malaby Wise Barth, then it's her. If
Linda
it's,
Dela Cruz.
If it's Linda Dela Cruz, then it's her. If it's Erta Kit, then it's that Mary. You know, if
Or it's like, Carmina Burana from
Yeah.
or it by grandma doing Omio Babino Karov.
if it's Pavarotti, then it's Pavarotti.
Yeah.
Is Oli used in a way of some coping mechanism, in a sense where music is healing? So we see Oli as Oli Como, Oli Kaya, or then Yupane, and all that stuff. So we see it in more of this sort of ritual kind of events. But you know how people are like, maybe they're just singing to express themselves. Maybe they're listening to a song.
Exactly.
Just is Oli used like that as
Yes,
well?
I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, maybe not. I wouldn't say coping, because coping implies that you want something from it. Means you've already told yourself, I'm singing because I want this to happen, or I'm olieing
There's an
because this,
expectation.
as a result I want this. So does all oli mean that? Does all oli require mean that you're expecting something in return or a response? No, but so I don't know about coping.
Yeah, maybe it's just the word. I believe in the same way that we relate to the music that we just talked about. I relate to Oli in the same way. So if my mood is, if I need extra little, I need my cells to shake it up inside in a certain way, then I fall on the Oli, in the same way that I would hum the song out or turn something on.
Oli is a good media is the best medium in which to disengage from the mundane and immediately come into your higher self or your and your ritual self.
Yeah, super quick.
If there's anything, so in terms of emotional mechanisms and then rather than coping, but in terms of meeting your emotional and spiritual needs.
Yeah, I call it one of our most capable primal technologies. Yeah.
Yeah, and it
It's
happens in it's not just Hawaiian. It's a lot more.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Can anybody Oli?
I think so.
And can anybody be good at Oli? Because anybody can sing. Not everybody can sing well.
Yeah.
Some people are better at it.
But
Some people have a gift.
I would ask the question: what's the function of your
Good. I was
Oli?
going to say, good is relative to the function.
Yeah.
So if you sound bad, but your intention is,
And then where are you going to be, and what are you Oliing for? Because you don't want to upset the elements, or you don't want to cause chaos in the cosmos, with your terrible sound, because you're gonna give this big gift to the world.
Because it's an exact science.
Yeah, it is. It is a science.
It's a science because you're affecting in the way that do you know that in Arizona some firefighters and fire departments are implementing sound wave technology to fight fires, and so because they're finding that fires are chemical fires, oil spill fires, sometimes forest wildfires are difficult to put out, and if you put water on it, it does nothing. In fact, it gets worse. It often gets worse. So what they're using is now sound technology and the Lonoa, the reverberation and resonance science to fight fires. And basically, they shoot a blast of sound waves that cancel out the oxygen molecule in the air that completely negates and actually consumes and dissipates the oxygen molecule.
it's like a sonic
in the
boom.
air.
It's just like, bah. I imagine it as this. I don't know if you ever remember that we had these air zookas.
Yep.
Growing up, and it's just like, pop, and
So and that's my point. That's Oli.
Yeah.
You are scientifically affecting the nucleic and atomic world around you, the world around you at the quantum level, at the nucleic level, at the atomic level. So that's why we don't use the modality of Oli so flippantly. Especially if the more you go into your training and the more you're trained specifically for ritual and etc.
So it goes back to function, and so if you're planning to bring life back to all of the ocean creatures of the world, then I would train and sound good.
Yeah.
Because you could be affecting the exact opposite
Because it's all vibration.
of what you're.
The difference between that your sound the sound wave of Oli is the difference between fanning the flames or completely extinguishing it.
Okay. I try to think about why I was uninterested in really doing the hula and the Oli when I was at Navahi, or this Kula Kaipuni in general. Like, I'm trying to think, was it I just wasn't interested? Like, I wanted to break dance. I didn't want to like do hula, or was I ashamed because nobody else I knew was doing it, or did I not want to sing because I didn't think my voice was good? I think it could be a mixture of it. Maybe some insecurities of like, I don't want to sing and be off key and get the words wrong. There's so many things that go on, and like especially when you're doing every single day, you gotta stay on par with everybody else.
But it's not as if you're going to cut your album or anything,
You know?
Yeah.
or
But I think
appear.
as unserious as things are, sometimes things are feels very serious, like that.
See, again, seriously unserious.
Yeah.
Two things can be true simultaneously, and we need both. We need the guys who are going to crack us a joke out of just to get us out of protocol.
Yeah.
And we are everybody is always in a learned state.
Yeah, and then we need you to sing or oli when you feel like it.
Because
And-
nakonara,
and
if
at
you
the-
don't
yeah.
feel like it.
And at the same time, don't do it if you feel you're not prepared, period. That's what I would say.
Yeah. I feel for me, like I'm not somebody who would oli and right now, because I feel like if I did it, it'd be performative.
Approach Oli as people do meditation.
Yeah.
I don't meditate
It's,
either.
see, and there we go. Well, then maybe
Yeah.
you should talk.
Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
and maybe it's just like a person-to-person thing. Like,
exactly.
It's just that's not my kuleana in the ahupua'a.
Maybe.
I just have different role.
Yeah. But
Okay.
also consider that oli is not a skill set that is coupled
Yes, no.
to the kahuna or the ritualist. That consider that oli is a skill set of prayer, of higher communication between you and yourself, or between you and that flower.
Between you and
In the
Kiawa,
universe, and with whatever name you call the universe, and consider that oli is a communication, and it's less, and it has to do less with what you sound like to other people,
And what you sound.
and what
sound.
what the quality of your relationship to that thing you're oling for, or the moment you're oling for.
and that thing you're oling from.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what
Is-
you're oling from.
Is there a thing as
And
like,
really, it's just a chanty sound.
It's cellular memory.
It's from to ah. That is the difference between a speaking voice and an oli voice. And of course, it gets intensive and it gets whatever it gets. It changes shape along the way, but any kind of chanty voice is an oli voice.
Is there such thing as a freestyle oli? You know how we got freestyle rap if
Yes.
you're singing?
Yeah.
So sometimes you could just be, so we know,
Yep.
at Navahi, we had the O Navahi. There's ones that we learn. Is there times when, and what,
The
I
more
guess,
contemporary
what time would you freestyle?
The more
in what
contemporary
situation?
term is uluvalea.
Uluvale?
Like ha'iolelo uluvale.
Oh.
In the moment, impromptu, improvised speech. And in the context of Peleni'iaka, there were kau and paha, which were the conversational pieces in oli form, or in chant form, in poetic recitation form, which were their modes of conversation and their dialogue.
But it was all freestyle. It was I know what the poetic form is, and I'm experiencing this thing right in front of me right now, this thought or this flower or this bird or whatever it is, and now I'm pulling that poetic style through me, and all of a sudden it becomes a brand new thing. That's freestyle.
You heard it a lot more I heard it a lot more in, like, you see footage, old 60s and 70s especially. I'm not just Merrie Monarch, but in, if you saw all of the old masters of the Renaissance, of the modern Renaissance, most of them would uluvale.
Yeah.
They have their prescribed and mele that they need to do. Me oli komo, oli kahea, ka'i, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But by and large, especially our grandmother, Edith would uluvale on the
the time.
wide.
Yeah.
On the wide.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so cool.
And that's a free form. And when is that appropriate? It's appropriate when you come across the experience that you feel in your body that you want to
You gotta do it
reflect
now.
back.
Right now.
Like you need to get it out.
Right
Yeah,
now.
right now.
No. Nice. we talked to Pa'a and the co-creator Chief of War in
Oh,
Washington.
cool.
And
I love him.
He talked about you doing it on the show
Oh my God.
and how that you
Yeah.
just basically freestyled it over there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, no, wait, hold on, hold on. I did memorize my lines, okay, but it felt in the moment. It felt like pulling an energy from the earth and then into cliff or the keoa, right? So in that moment, the Oli voice came. It just came out, and so I didn't freestyle the words in so much as I freestyled the mode of communication. Yeah,
It turned out great.
it's so good.
Yeah. All right. Next question comes from Kikai Bebs 808. This person says a bunch of people said similar things. Just by the way, we had tons of questions
Cool.
similar to this. When is your next music project? When's the next album? When's the
You know
next
what I mean?
song? When's
You
the
know.
next? So many
They
questions.
act like it's easy for give birth. You know what I mean? Ha. Sometimes you gotta just hang, just grifting on my canal, my birth canal.
Hey, just chat
Nah.
GPT it.
Chant GBT. Ew. Nah.
gonna get it.
Chant
I know there's
GBT.
like AI songs. Would you be able to know if there's an AI Oli
Oh yeah,
at some point?
yeah.
Is it happening? Has it crossed over into like the
Yeah.
Hula, the Oli world? AI?
Yeah.
Really?
Even some consultation work that we do. Sometimes you can tell that they'll say, here we came up with this, and then you just read it and you go, did you use ChatGPT or AI to Google AI, Merrie?
That's
Liar.
funny.
But yeah.
Yeah,
I don't-
music. Any music coming up? Any music
so
project?
new music. We're gonna. Mom and I have had some collaborative stuff that we've recorded but never released. I have dreams of working with my co-music score producer James Everingham. He's a British composer, and he worked under Hans Zimmer for at the time, but now he's independent. He's done scores for like the Frozen Planet docu-series, when we're huge nature documentary fans. So there's something in that genre that I would like to explore. Whether I'm going to come out with consumable chalanga bangs soon, look out for it in the next couple of years. Like I talking like this year or next year.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
With you or?
No.
Okay.
But
Wait.
I've been over the last 10 years I've been more absorbed and I've been more absorbed in the production work of television and film.
We love doing High Rescue Surf. My favorite ante.
Team Antiloke.
Yeah.
And I've been fortunate enough to kind of nurture that side, because I eventually want to go into continuing docu-series work, like Uncle Eddie Kamai did with our grandma's story, Keepers of the Flame.
Cool.
He highlighted 3 of his teachers, Puku'i, Iolani Luahine, and Grandma.
So cool.
So that I'm trying to. It's a transitional period in my music career where I'm want to parlay that experience into film work and then eventually continue telling our indigenous stories.
Wow, so cool. Every time I talk to somebody who's so rooted and they know their genealogy and where they come from, it always inspires me to be like, wow, I want to be like them. Wait, I can be like them. Like
Well,
it always.
you
know,
am
I'm
them.
You am them.
Well, I need to, because our family isn't as like my brother knows more of the genealogy, like family from Kau, and then even my Japanese side, my Sonora side in Japan.
Oh.
So just learning more about that, like these conversations and just listening to you guys, it inspires me to like
Yeah. Awesome.
pursue those things. So
Great.
just want to say that. Next question comes from yk.pelani. Thoughts on A Chief of War Season 2? Last time we talked to Pa'a, he said he'd love to work on more Hawaiian stories, telling more Hawaiian stories. I guess it's kind of up in the air. We don't know if there will be a season 2 or if it'll be a different type of spin-off. I guess just thoughts though, just like, do we want it? What could it be?
We want it. We want it. We want it.
Give us the tax credits.
Yeah. I don't have any thoughts outside of when you do something gigantic like that. I just want to talk about the way. I wasn't in it all the time, in all the places, in all the ways, but when I was, I like super observant kind of person, and it was done well. It was done well, not just on the artistic side, but on the communal side, on the community side. You know, they did. They asked people to be in their spaces, asked Puna, asked Ka'u, and whether or not the family said yes or no, they were asked. And wherever they went, they employed the people of the place that they went to. You know, so you saw, if you were in Puna, you saw the Puna people not just be in the shots, but you saw them driving the vans, running the check-in stations, and
catering.
You know, all the catering. Thank you, all the things. Mm-hmm. So I think that's work done well. You know, done in a very Moana Nui Akea style. And then the other thing is that the spring off the jumping board, the jump off point. What? Anyways, you springboards into sort of an association or a what is it called, the film? Anyways, a new Hawaii-based film sort of
genre
and
industry.
Yeah. So that is going to have impact long after Chief goes.
Well, and what was the better question is, what was the precedent prior? South Pacific, Blue Hawaii.
Yeah.
Come on, Magnum PI.
No, this set the bar real high.
I mean, Magnum PI, Hawaii 5-0. Come on. So relative to the relative to precedent and and generational circumstances, right? I think because I luckily got hanai'd into the deep production aspect of it. I was
you worked on a lot of the sound.
My name's most of it. What?
Yeah.
Not just
advisor.
That was the last. Initially, I came as advisory, and then I worked on costuming, which was all of my Auntie Nalani's creations, Nalani Kanakaʻole's creations through my Auntie Hui, and Hālau Kekuhi's contributions to the production, and then I was absorbed in as one of the overall cultural consultants and advisors, along with Keone Nunes, Kalekua Ka'eo, you know, so we're not idiots. We're certainly not, no one's fool. And we have both academic and practitioner prowess. But again, for what it stood for and for what it took to get to that point, for Hawaii, for ʻike Hawaii to be visualized and actualized in cinematic form, in a cinematic format for a global audience. It wasn't to inform ourselves. Merrie wasn't telling our own people about us. Hello. We're telling everybody else that has no clue about us. So I think on those grounds, yes. Do I think that it's it's not monolithic, again. It's not monolithic or homogeneous in that, is that the one? That's the one. This is the one cinematic experience that's going to save us all. No, no.
Yeah.
It's just the start.
It's just one. of many. He lau, he mano, he kini, he lehu. But in the same way that most of our vanguards and our badass Kanaka who said nah to status quo and said, okay, I'll be the first to do it. I'll be the first to break ground, even if it breaks skin.
We need that.
And you're gonna have backlash, but just keep doing.
Yeah.
Just do the work.
Yeah. I mean, but the
So,
both of you, especially you, embody that perfectly.
I hope that there is I hope that there is a future for a spin-off or another iteration of Chief of War in a continuum. So we'll see.
Yes, it'll happen. And Pa'a says whenever that happens, I will get to play my dream role of a dead body at some point.
Oh my God.
I've been advocating
Stop
to play
it.
a dead body.
You're gonna
for
get it.
I'm not joking. It's my dream. It'll happen at some
Okay.
point.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. If you guys need one on the Merrie Monarch stage too, I can do that.
Got it. Okay.
That's your Malasada talking. That's the Malasada in Udine talking.
All right, and then follow-up question from YK.Pi'ilani. Auntie Aiva, how is your hula halau going? Any hula workshops soon?
Oh yeah. I teach free hula, and I'm going to open another class for anybody who wants to come and learn. The commitment is the currency. So as long as you commit to coming and to learning in the space, that's your currency. That's what you pay with. So I teach them for a few months, and then I open it to another class. So yes, this
kind of
summer.
like cohorts and stuff.
This summer.
Awesome. And how do people get in on that?
They'll see it on my socials.
Oh, okay.
They'll see it on my socials.
We'll drop all of that in the descriptions below.
Hey, we go join.
Yeah. I get bad knees.
Oh, me too.
And I cannot do hula. I cannot do aiha'a style like that.
Just
Yeah, I can't just ow.
I kulish na aiha'a.
You know, I was really like I was
Oh,
a good
that's right.
student.
Didn't you just have like
No,
surgery?
I had surgery on my knee and my shoulder, but in like Kulakaya Puni, you know Kumuha'a, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she probably hated me. I feel so bad.
Oh, she never.
No, she doesn't.
No. I was so kolohe when it came to like, Papa Hula. Because like, I would always joke around and mess around. And one time I couldn't go to Pulama Maliola because we had a soccer tournament for Hilo High on Oahu. So if you don't go to Miss Pulama Maliola, you got to perform everything in front of the whole class before you go. The whole school, sorry. So it was me, I think Kau'i Veleza.
Oh my God.
I don't know if it was maybe Kaipo Koka was part, or Kahiva Boho, I think. Yeah. So I think it was maybe us three because we were on the soccer team. And so they were doing it and I was just like, I don't know if I wasn't taking it seriously. And then she was like making us start over, like scolding me. But then everybody in the crowd, like all the students, they were cheering me on, being like, yeah. And then she got so mad. And then she kicked me out. I don't know if she like cussed me out or something. And this is totally my fault, Kumuha. I'm not making you look bad. This is on me. And she kicked me out and I had to leave in front of the whole entire school because I wasn't doing it.
You know what? To our benefit, can we just say that this is a very incredibly transitional and multifaceted set of circumstances we have in our generation. Because we're still trying to decolonize the Kanaka so that they're not being comfortable with being Kanaka. And then, so there's that. And then you're trying to, already they're in a bilingual situation or a multilingual situation. And can I just say, most kids are assholes. Most kids are dicks.
I wasn't mean.
bro.
I wasn't a dick. I was just, unserious.
Most kids are. But they're supposed to be unserious. And so on the one hand, I mean, we products of our circumstance and our hanauna, and we get it. Two, most kids that age are assholes. Like 99%. I was.
Shout out to our Kumus.
I was, but you know what? I showed up to Hālau whenever mom guys. When we were growing up, like whenever some of the kids were having sleepovers or like huaka'is with the Hālau, mom guys would drag us to Kona to go clean, to go weed eat and cut trees down in Kealonahihiheau and for their restoration. Or we had to learn protocol for the va'a, or we had to go. Or we had to go deal with, learn about iwi kupuna. That's the kind of stuff that we were doing on our weekends. We weren't going to the mall.
Dang.
We went with the rest of my hoa papa. We didn't do sports because most of our stuff was absorbed. We were at Kaho'olahavid working with mom guys. We were up at Pohakuloa and on the Mauna. So we didn't even in Kaiapuni, we didn't have a typical Kaiapuni upbringing because when everybody, you guys could be just kids, and enjoy a sort of pedestrian life. We couldn't.
Yeah. My experience was go to school, do all the Hawaiian stuff, maina muhaole.
Nope.
Do the oli, do the prayers, do the poos, and then go home, play video games, go play soccer. Go play football.
See, and mine was, I do the Hawaiian stuff at home. I go to school, do work.
Yeah.
I do academia. To come out of school, so to me, it never, there was no separation.
Yeah. Dang, that's kind of crazy. I didn't think about that. But the one thing I would say is talk about resiliency. It definitely taught us discipline and resiliency because some of those speakers was long, standing up.
They're just colored folk, Merrie.
You know, I don't know how it was at your time. People fainted in the pico.
Every
year there's somebody that faints in the pico.
Still. And I'm like, oh my God. And I know you only like listen to yourself. Or they're just trying to out ha'i o lelo o whaikorero, the last Maori or the last indigenous contingent.
No,
but that's all the kind. Even my Samoan friends, they're like, Merrie, you like when you get like, pray off, let us pray. Oh heaven, so and so. Please forgive
Captain Cook.
some of us, some of us like our cousins from the north side of this island, and I couldn't say who was present. They're like that. They're like that.
Oh my gosh.
Mahalo no lima I ho'omaka o kaui kia mea ai, except for not all the limas who went ho'omaka.
Because somebody was lohi.
Yeah.
Except for Milian Appa, who was lohi makahalawai piko, mamua o kapani ana o kala.
Yeah. It was taught good discipline, especially with like when we had to do hula practice, like sitting on our knees and stuff. Oh my gosh, like legs go numb. Crazy time, but appreciate it for sure. Next question comes from my sister Kanoile Hua.
Hey.
Sorry. It's hard for me to not say her name without gagging.
Anti-Hawaiian host chocolate.
Yeah. She says, how do you maintain being rooted in a Hawaii that's progressively becomes influenced or modernized by the West? And I'm going to read the second question from someone else because it's kind of similar. Mitch 313, kind of like Michelle _84, says, how do you balance being Kanaka Maoli and preserving traditions in an ever-changing modern world? So basically, you can get the gist of it, right? It's just like...
I'm gonna just go back to the same answer we gave for the previous question that had to do with...
how do you remain authentic when the world...
I think so. I think so. I think the sovereignty of mind and spirit is huge. It's huge, and leaning into that, and not becoming a victim of the transient. Of all of the transient
of time.
Of time.
A victim of time.
And like the little pocket dragon in an egg thingy, and then you become a victim to that, and then it's gone. Or the whole iPhone thingy, become a victim to that, and then it's gone. Like depend on what we were talking about before, your primal technologies. What about you and yourself? I mean, it's all philosophical, but that's what it comes back to. So being rooted also doesn't mean the same thing to me as it might mean to your sister. You know, so being rooted to me means that I can be anywhere in the world and I can still feel at home. That I can look up into the sky and I can still say aloha to the star people, because they're the same star people I'm going to eventually see when I go home. That when I see a mountain that is foreign to my mouth, the mountain's name is foreign to my tongue, yet I come from the same mineral, you know? So being rooted just means being in some kind of relationship. I mean, it seems obscure, but
And esoteric.
seems it's not really esoteric. It just means I'm going to go back to the same answer I gave before. Roll in the grass when your body feels it wants to roll in the grass. It's not a cynical answer. The answer is that's what the body wants. So if you don't,
And you're setting yourself up for that cynicism if you're asking yourself that.
Yeah.
right?
So if you don't mentalize, which is what some of the question sounds like to me, is that you're trying to intellectualize what your soul and what your body needs. But your body and your soul are so super old, they know exactly who and what they need. And if you just let it be, like, and I'm not talking about being Buddhist or being Zen or Shinto or whoever. I'm just saying, go sit under a tree for a little bit. Be quiet. Turn off your phone. Jump in the water. Engage with Honua at some level, and you're gonna get some profound answers. You know.
Yeah, get grounded.
And then when you do, and when you're, but if you're going to, I'm going to challenge you again. Two things can be simultaneously true at either extremes of said spectrum. You in the seeking of, you're going to ask the question, then be ready for the answer.
Yeah.
You're going to ask the question. You're going in the form of oli, in the form of pule. You're asking. It's a supplication, right? Which means you're doing this thing because you want something in return. You want something in exchange. So if it comes down to, well, then maybe I do need to get my ass in gear and need to learn more Olelo Hawaii. Maybe I do need to get my ass in gear and learn more Oli and engage in Oli. Maybe my brother doesn't only have to be the one that I say, oh, my brother knows more about genealogy than I do. That's the answer. If the answer is something that says that you're lacking or that you haven't taken action yet, then you have to also be responsible enough to receive that answer, and that you're both the answer, you're both the question and the problem.
Yeah.
There we go.
There you
And
go.
but okay. And there's a dissonance. That's part of that modern modern dissonance. That kind of what feels like it's a split existence.
Yeah.
But
Seems like
it's not split.
It's not.
The body mind is supposed to feel that, because the body mind is space and everything else is time. And so what she's having dissonance about is time versus space, is the passing of modern life, blah, 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 blah,
And
blah,
the
blah,
anxieties
blah,
of, did I do enough? Do I know enough? Am I enough?
unnecessary.
I think a lot of it comes from pressures of society, of course, but social media elevates it. You know, it just it enhances it. Where it's just like you see these other people doing these things. It's like, oh, that person looks very Hawaiian, and it's almost like a Hawaiian off. And it's like, oh, and I see people like that, you know, and it's like, how Hawaiian can you be, you know, like
No,
with
I'm
the
Hawaiian.
nole, or just with instead of saying, you know, just speaking like this, I'm joining couple Hawaiian words here and there, a little aiha's, you know, like.
And and again, there are two in all universal evolution of society and all societies, in the entire arc of human existence. My grandfather was a history professor, so world civilizations is
This is jam.
was his was his first form of expression. And there again, all levels of humanity are required in order to build, in order to deconstruct and reconstruct our the way in which we progress.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So what?
no matter.
Is
So
there,
what?
Is there an, I guess, like is there a secret to balancing it? Is it just, being more grounded and having that
No.
No.
that because
No.
that's
No
the
more
question, is
secret.
how do you balance it?
No more.
No.
You got to
Yeah.
figure it out.
Yeah.
You got to figure out your own resonance. And
No matter what other people think.
No matter what other people
I can
think,
be in the lo'i
your
and also play video
dissonance.
games and
Yeah, exactly.
be into AI.
But why? As if that's any different from what we're already doing.
Yeah.
As if that's any different from the last 130 years of what we've been doing.
Yeah, exactly.
So no more excuse. No more excuse. And if you're at this point, you're not, you're still trepidatious about doing you. And because we were just talking about genealogy one time. In fact, one of our ancestors, we've found out, as I'm sure many Hawaiian ancestors had apparently had two families on two different districts of Hawaii
It's
Island.
like a hole
One
in every area.
Merrie, one in
code or
Kohala and
something
one in
like that
Kona.
song.
Yeah,
I got
yeah,
hole.
In different area codes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, no.
Hey, we was doing it before those rap songs.
Yeah, and then now we're left, 7, 8, 9 generations later, we're left with, well, who came from the oldest?
Wow.
Who came from the youngest?
Whatever.
That puts it into perspective. I go, that we Kanaka. Even our ancestors are Kanaka. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
Part of our, again, and in our frailty, in our human frailty, and in our humanity, there will always be, and there always needs to be that.
Yeah. And when you said our ancestors were Kanaka, you're saying like they were also humans, just like us. They made mistakes. Is that what you mean?
They lived.
Yeah,
They lived. And I'm talking about, again, it's not a straight binary of wrong, right, good, evil.
I think that's super important to teach yourself about the non-binary, and that whole good and evil crap that is the outcome. Us always being unsure and question, like to the end,
To the point where
power.
you sort of worshiping and edifying your kupuna, your ancestors so much that it's removed you from your temporal physical self.
My kupuna, my ancestors, there was this, there was that, and
Yes, they
Merrie,
were.
and who you?
And who you?
like
Because
you-
you're them.
I feel like that's a very Rafiki Lion King answer.
I
love it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Are
yeah,
you?
yeah.
Who are you? Because you are them. So again, at some point, I would like us to stop separating ourselves from and edifying ourselves to the point of oblivion, to the point that there's this chasm.
Yeah, it's terrible.
This chasm of
I'm
void
not.
of mana.
I cannot.
That I am
not.
not. That our direct ancestors are something to attain.
Yeah. A'ole pono.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Mahalo. Last question from social media comes from Sumu777. You know what it is? The question is, where was the song Moloka'i Jam inspired?
I was having a mental breakdown. I was having a mentee B, a little mental health break.
Be every now and then
And
is
mentee
normal.
B. It was a time, again, it was one of those, I was out of my 20s, early 30s, and everything comes crashing in, whether it's PTSD from just past trauma, childhood trauma and abuse, or whether it was just dealing with life in the present. And I needed to get away. So every time I wanted to sneak away, I would run to Molokai. My grandma, but my grandma and Auntie Nalani, they don't go to Molokai a lot just because
I love Molokai.
It's very alive. I love it.
I love
Never
it.
been.
So anyway, long story long,
Short story long is what I like to say.
Well, I stayed at the Helms house in Kalamaula.
Oh, nice.
And because of our pilina with Uncle George Helm and my grandma and Auntie Nalani and great-grandmother, I was fast friends with Kekama Helm, who is Raiatea's cousin.
I just was on the same flight as right there.
Well, so Kekama and Ane is one of the three founders of Kealo Pico.
Okay.
So I stay at their house, and whenever I needed like a mentee bee, I would go and stay at their house. And one day, he was like, "Merrie, you crashing out. We gotta go." So he made me jump in his Jugi truck. We get puka on my side. The passenger side get puka, rusted out puka, can see the road.
Wow. Like a little Flintstones.
Yeah.
You go like this.
Yabadaba. And so he took me out and he said, I was like, "Where are we going?" He was like, "Merrie, you don't know not for ass." I was like, You're right. Foul. And he made me jump my ass into the truck. We hit it immediately. He goes, "This is Naiva. This is where we're gonna start our story. Naiva, da. And then he started just pointing out, calling one after the other. And he took me right down the coast. And then flooded me with all of these place names of Molokai. Mauka Makai. And then we doubled back, and I was quiet the whole way. And he said, "Feel better? Okay." And that's how it was.
Was Manini Holo a place on Molokai?
Yeah, Manini Holo, I believe, is a local.
Oh, okay. I was curious because I like that song, and I remember you said Manini Holo, and on Oahu I lived on a Manini Holo street.
Yeah.
But it's on Oahu. But does it come from Molokai?
No. Well,
They share.
Yeah.
The islands share similar place names depending on who all's moving from island to island.
And ecological similarities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If the environment was similar enough, then they would name it. But
Kahalu'u
also,
there, Kahalu'u here.
and also we not forget that Oahu and that each kingdom were not so isolated from one another. That throughout history that one ruled the other. So at one point they would cross-pollinate and borrow names from the other. So
Cool.
But yeah, that was one of the I think at least 20 Inoa, Aina, Pana Aina.
Yeah.
But it was born from that.
Cool. If you don't know, now you know.
Therapy, man.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, last question. This was texted to me right before we started the podcast from my stepdad, Kaloa Robinson.
Hi, Kaloa.
I
Oh,
think
it's
you
my
know,
mother's colleague.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, we're
Kaloa?
friends.
Oh, so you know both my dads. Michael
Yeah, I
and,
guess so,
and
yeah.
Kaloa. Wow.
Yeah,
We're all
yeah.
connected.
Awesome.
So funny. He says, here's my question to both Kekuhi and Kaumakaiwa. What responsibilities do you feel when carrying your family's hula lineage forward? And how do you decide what to preserve, evolve, or reinterpret?
Oh, that's a good one.
I don't really choose. I feel like it kind of chooses me. It depends on the situation in my life, and that it manifests itself when I need it most. The thing that I need most, whatever it is that I'm supposed to learn. So it's kind of the same philosophy my grandma has about getting jobs. It comes to you when it's necessary.
I think
So I don't really choose what and when. Rather, when I find myself in the space and the appropriate time, then that lesson will come out in the form of that whatever particular oli or mo'oka'au that I refer to. And but I think everything's on the table.
Yeah.
Because Edith said teach. She had a really incredibly altruistic approach to ʻike. Was no one owns it, and that we are not beholden to that notion that we own any of this. Our responsibility is simply to transmit said information.
Teach it.
Teach.
She says, teach everybody. You never know who is going to carry that thing on. You may skip a generation, or my grandchildren may decide never to teach hula again in their life. And so at some point, we got to depend on one of the learners of my learners, maybe, to hold a particular repertoire of knowledge. And at some point, I hope that we've taught them well enough that when my great-great-great-grandchild goes and says, I was told that you've learned this from our great-great-great-grandmother, can you teach it back to us? Just jumping off of the point Tito was making over here. But for me, when it comes to when do I choose to evolve something or malama it the way it is and or what totally reinterpret it. As best as I can, the dances that came from my great-grandmother and my grandmother, the ones that came from my great-grandmother are interestingly, and this is before I knew they came from her, are a bunch of my favorite dances. Whether or not I dance them exactly like her, nobody will be able to dance anything exactly like another person because you have a wholly different chemical makeup and a whole different palette of experiences. There's no such thing as I dance this exactly the same way as it's taught to me. That's impossible.
And if there's anybody that can negate that is us, because no generation has passed, and we're not a teacher, a student of. We're actually from this person,
Yeah.
and from her mother. So we've had the fortune of continuity, of generational continuity,
Yeah.
to completely negate that argument.
Yeah. So it looks different. We can tell which dance it is. We know that is the similarity of the motion, but it's never exact. So, which kind of answers Kaloa's question, because we don't choose whether or not the mele, the hula is going to evolve or not. The body that dances it chooses that. You know? And so
And the body, the premise are time, the era, and the circumstances,
Yeah.
the ecological, socio-ecological, cultural circumstances,
Yeah.
political circumstances
sure.
that hanauna finds themselves in.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you use mele to you evolve mele in which to combat said circumstances, in which to rise above said circumstances, like things that have happened on the Mauna, or a lot of the universal protocol that our family has given to the Kaiaulu.
yeah, I want to speak to that for one second. So some of the dances on the Mauna, a lot of them were the dances that we decided to teach out were recently created on the foundations of what was passed to us. So it doesn't look the same choreographically, but it feels the same in an aiha'a sort of way. So in that way, there is evolution of the form, okay? But then the other thing is that if we need a dance or a chant in a ritual, that's going to make all the difference about whether or not the ritual, the intention of the ritual is going to come to pass, okay? So get off of the mountain, right? Don't dig more in. Get the rubbish off of the mountain first. So if the intention of the ritual is that thing, and let's say we have a sacred dance, and let's say the purpose and the function of that sacred dance is to do exactly what we need, but we don't want to be, we're still accountable for teaching it. So sometimes you got to take out parts of that quote unquote original choreography and or ritual part of the dance that you know that the non-hula people cannot hold in their body, you know, then it becomes incumbent on the ritualist and the hula person, the person who's teaching the hula, to say, okay, all right, I know I'm doing this consciously, and I'm doing this intentionally. I've got to take out this whole part here, because we need this chant and this choreography, because it's going to pull everybody together. But we cannot teach this one part, because we know that most people here cannot do that physically. And so you take that chant as a ritualist, and you say that chant has been taken before by other people in another time, and I claim that. I own that change that I just made, and then you teach it. Mm-hmm. So then there's that sort of exchange, that sort of reciprocity that has to happen. Other than that, I agree with Tita that that we don't own stuff, like we don't own the pele. The pele is, in and of itself, her own entity that goes from the Marquesas to Tahiti to Whakarava to Java and to all of the places in the world. We don't own that. We own an experience of the pele that we can call the pele in Hawaii. But same like the hula, same like protocol, same like we can only own our understanding of it.
Same with Aina, right?
Yeah.
We're just steward and servant of all these things that was given to us.
Aye.
Mm-hmm. And are you thinking or saying it? Okay. Mahalo everybody for the social media questions. Make sure you leave some for our next guest, and maybe your question will make it on the podcast. We're coming to the back end of the podcast, and I know we're going long. We're giving Koho'okai's episode a run for its money.
Very please.
You two need to start your own podcast to share. So there's so much mana'o that could be shared, and
No.
I think after this episode, you might be getting a lot of messages and comments saying like, "Oh, well, I could listen to you two talk all day." But I like to ask all of my guests this question about keeping it aloha. It's the name of the podcast. It's something that I try to do every day. It's how I, it's basically everything that I try to be is just like in keeping it aloha. Whether it's something crazy going on in my life and I need to learn how to be patient and control that and stay calm, whether I'm being pulled in different directions of modern and traditional, keeping it aloha is like my North Star, right? It's my motto, it's my mantra, it's my mindset. So I want to know in your lives, how do you keep it aloha? Which could be a lot of what you already said. And if it is,
I know.
I keep it. Actually, what Mom said earlier about having a very realistic approach, a very realistic understanding of and POV of life, and it's, if you want to pull on the side of the road and roll in the grass, then do it. Then roll in the grass.
Yeah.
If you want to crack a joke that gives people the church giggles during mid-ceremony, maybe that's what need. Because, or if somebody, when we're having deep meetings, especially about like heavy Hawaiian stuff, and somebody's like nodding off, we usually let them go. We're like, no, let them speak. Because sometimes
they need it.
Well, and sometimes they either really need the rest, or other times maybe that's Kupuna's way of stepping in
It is.
Sometimes people check out, and then they're tutus step in and have something to say and add to the conversation. So that's what I gotta say about that. Keep it aloha by keeping it maoli 1,000%, 100% you. Not good you, not bad you, not the evil you, not right you, not wrong you. Just keep it you. And
I love that.
nobody can ask anymore. And what is that you? The perfect the perfectly imperfect balance. The perfectly imperfect balance of, on the one hand, knowing when to be silly, and when to just be kanaka, and on the other, and also when it's time to be source and resource. That you know how to come into that modality as naturally and as instinctually and as authentically as it was when you were rolling in the grass. That's how you keep it. That's how you keep aloha for yourself, and that's how you keep aloha in yourself through this thing we call life. And that's how you keep aloha for your community and your ohana and your nearest and dearest. And that's how you also keep your own peace. If you wanna keep your peace, sometimes you also have to go, okay, love your family, but Merrie,
I gotta go.
deuces. And pelano.
Oh. Yep. With the point.
Okay.
You know, for I'm gonna borrow that.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna apply that to so it's just for this particular time in my life. And you know, and I'm into the menopausal kind actions. I'm just gonna say that out there because get plenty wahine who get whose chemical and neurochemical and biochemical way of being, it becomes, it seduces you to, you know, when you're in this particular age and maturation of life, that first I don't like to use the word menopause, but I don't have another word for it right now. Yeah, menopausing. Pausing for the mana to holo up iluna. Yeah. And then I'm just gonna say it because I know lots and lots of wahine in different times of their pausing for mana. And what I wanna say is that it drains you of who you think you are and who you thought you were and who everybody expected you to be, and it just does. And then people go through a terrible mental crisis and physical crisis, and I see it all around me. And when just a little bit more sodium and a little bit more magnesium and a little bit more potassium is going to help your heart and help your brain. But what I want to speak into that is, as you're alohaing yourself through this time, is I was going there. My neurochemical balance was so way off, you know. And what I had to remind myself was to, and I thought I was being too much all the time, too big, too much. And then I remembered that was my 4-year-old self too. She was too much. She was too much, too big, talked too much, sang too much, played too much, all the things too much. And interestingly, I'm re-experiencing that person as almost 60-year-old. And I just want to say to ladies, to the wahine, is that just lean into that muchness. let it take you.
Love you through the muchness.
Yeah.
Keep that aloha for your muchness.
Yeah, aloha your muchness. Cause pausing for the mana takes a minute. And it's a serious thing. It really is. And nobody has answers except for why you're not the same person you was 20 years ago.
That's 20 years ago. That's
You're just not. Your neural networks have been pruned.
Yeah.
And your neurology is you're beefing up to be the grandmother of the world. You know? So I like that. Aloha your muchness. Just aloha her and aloha her and aloha her over and over again. I think it's the same message.
Yeah, to Kanoi, to Aire, in the spirit of finding authenticity and confidence in the wake of,
For real.
Ever-changing world.
in the wake of external pressure. Just lean into it and aloha yourself to that.
Aye.
And aloha to muchness.
Well, 'cause you got to think, the Kanaka that are here, and I tell this to all my students, you're the one who made it. Means that our DNA, everybody alive here, all the Kanaka alive, are ancestors, are descendants of ancestors whose va'a made it.
Yeah, that's true.
No, nothing but excellence, nothing but complete and utter mastery of oneself and one's ʻike and one's kuput ʻike ku'una and one's kuleana and one's environment. Mastery to be able to survive that. 9 months out of an entire year, sometimes multiple years. Most chances are most va'as are going to end up on the bottom of Kanaloa, in the poli of Kanaloa, and that's okay too. But guess what? You made it. So mediocrity, honey, is not in our DNA. Means mediocrity didn't make it
Yeah.
to Hawaii, didn't make it back. Mediocrity didn't make it from Tahiti to Rapa Nui to Aotearoa to Hawaii. Mediocrity did not do that.
You did it.
Excellence did.
Yeah.
You did that.
That's a great perspective.
So boo-hoo, Merrie. Wah, wah, wah.
It's crazy at any point in history, our grandfather, great-grandfather, great-grandmother, great-great-great, whatever, if they would have just not made it, we would not exist.
Absolutely.
That's crazy.
Pure and simple. Not even they would have
if
made
they
it.
fell off of the va'a.
If they fell off the va'a,
Yeah, if they got
there's
sick.
no king.
Yeah.
You did not. Your people did not see kalaka. Your people did not see kamehameha.
Wow.
Your people did not see any of that. None of it matters because
crazy.
you didn't make it, and only the best of the best made it. Only the best of the best into the highest of intellectuals
Wow.
and the most accomplished. The olohes of the olohes and the loea of the loea and the lehua of the lehua kumakua. So don't give me that.
So when
I don't accept that. I don't accept that on anybody's behalf because we are products of excellence. We cannot help it. We are genetically predisposed for greatness.
wow, I love that. I'm ready to run through
Because
a wall.
we made it.
I'm the best.
Maybe you're not going to make it after that, but we tell your story.
Yeah, thank you.
Give
Continue
on.
my
I'm ready.
legacy.
Go get it. Go.
Give my Pokemon collection to Faith, please. Make sure she continues on that.
You one of the canoes that made it, boo.
Yeah.
Don't give me I too tired for this or too stressed out. Oh, I don't know this. People say this about me. Merrie, don't
Forget. Yeah.
You think we would have made it if you had said that?
Exactly. You think our ancestors were saying that?
You
Oh,
would
it's
not-
too cold on this.
If that was a part of your DNA, your mentality, you'd not be here. We wouldn't be talking.
Yeah.
So
It's
So
just
basically, what you're saying is when DJ Khaled said, "We the best," he was talking about us.
I think he was just talking about his next meal. I don't know. Ozempic. Love you,
Oh, I can't wait
Khaled.
to eat the food over here. I'm looking forward to so many fun things here at Merrie Monarch. Mahalo for those answers. I want to know if there's anything exciting coming up, anything you guys are looking forward to in the next It could be next week. It could be next year. It could be
World Oli Conference.
Yeah. Edith Kanakaʻole World Oli Conference and Festival. It's going to be the 5th year.
wow. Hey, we're
And-
both on our 5th years. Let's go.
What? Might as well. And we're moving the conference to Kona. So we had it at Imiloa for 3 years. Last year we had it at Naniloa. And this year we're going to move it to Kahalu'u Keauhou on the KS land where all the heiaus are, where they took down the Kona Lagoon and the outrigger, where the open space is for learning and interacting and community. And so the Oli Fest is the December, I think it's the 9th, 10th, 11, 12, 11, 12, 13, that weekend. So maybe look out.
Again, Oli is simply the mechanism in which to engage one's cellular memory, ancestral cellular memory through poetic devices. Yeah, so everybody of all experiences come.
Yeah.
Don't be kanalua just because you heard World Oli and that excludes you just because you think you don't chant.
Yeah, thank you. Sounded totally like my grandma. That's all my grandma would have said it. But Oli Fest is to get people excited and confident and comfortable about just chanting the simplest chant all the way to the most complex chant. And it depends on where you are in the spectrum. But we learn it. This year, we learn it through somebody else's practices. Or, hey, malama this land over here, and this is how we do it. This is what we've done it for the last 10 years. And this is the chant we teach. You want to learn that chant? It's in that spirit.
Oli through the practice of Oli through the hana, the hana kaulike, the laborious aspect. Oli through kapa, hana kapa, Oli through lo'i and mahikalo, etc.
Oh, so all that happens at the Oli Fest?
At the Oli Fest?
Yes,
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
different
I was thinking it's just like a
practitioners.
competition, but
No.
No,
Oh yeah, in addition.
But so we open up with an Oli concert. So we invite a lot of our friends who are, who some of them just began a couple years ago, and then some of them have been chanting for 60 years. My mother always likes to chant at that, and she's the oldest among us. And they dress up and they practice and they get nervous and they chant stories and they chant ritual chants, but they pick some of their most favoriteest songs to chant, and that is so super diverse. I mean, it seems like something. Well, what if I don't understand? But it's really engaging.
Oli is also data.
Yeah.
Also, Oli is, I say your DNA is the most comprehensive hard drive of information, of stored information, universal information. That's first.
Yeah, for sure.
DNA, dana. Outside of ancestral memory, the Oli are encapsulated like inoa pana aina, like you say, someplace like Wai'anai, you can expect that at some point there's going to be a deluge of water. Wailuku, I live in Wailuku. At some point, you're going to have a real luku flood that's going to either take out your whole house and luku some stuff.
Yeah.
And so, if not for that, it's an incredible microcosm in which to experience macro data or metadata, stored ʻike, ancient metadata.
Yeah.
By re-examining a lot of these old mele.
It's our best source of longitudinal data that we have. Yeah.
cool. I love how I keep having to look at things in all kind of different ways. And it's so awesome.
What you got coming up, Grady?
Yeah.
Nothing. Yeah,
I doubt that.
I'm still active in TV and doing freelance TV and film work, and new music soon to come. But that's whenever. And yeah.
Just keep following along.
Yeah, just follow along. So can they can either find information about the World Edith Kanakaʻole World Oli Conference On edithkanakaʻolefoundation.org?
No,
Or
at
just Lonoa Honua?
Lonoa Honua and Hālau ʻohi'a on Instagram.
On all the socials, Hālau ʻohi'a, at Hālau ʻohi'a,
At Lonoa Honua.
at Lonoa Honua. They're on Instagram as well. Check them out. Check them
Yeah,
out,
yeah.
check them out, check them out. These are incredible resources, and we're not stingy with ʻike. Never been.
A'ole.
Yeah. And they take donations. If you want to send donations on Venmo, their Venmo is KamakaDS8. If you want to help support them and, you know, their Venmo, again, I repeat, is KamakaDS8. Yeah. All right, just a couple more questions. We're going to wrap up and rip some packs and then head out here.
What's that
But
written in the pack?
I want to
cards.
know, yeah, we're going to
The
rip some Pokemon
Pokemon.
cards.
We
I want to know
were just gonna
what
open
is
packs together.
what is one thing you wish people knew about you that they don't?
Nothing.
Anything you think people misunderstand? And if not about you, maybe about Hula, maybe about Merrie Monarch Week, maybe.
I think people miss because I'm visually available as a ritualist, and all those roles, titles or whatever they are. I think people, unless you're in a garage with me and my cousins, you don't know that I'm super silly, and that I like to be silly.
That is true, because from all my visual feed of you, everything that has come in front of my eye has been like kind of more serious stuff, right? Like the Oli, the intense stuff. But you're so fun and silly. You're the cool auntie,
Sometimes.
grandma, the cool mama.
Cool grandma.
Yeah, I am Kumu. I am sister. I am BFF. I am I am the drunk cousin. We are all of it.
You are the greatest person to play every single role because you can play every single role.
Inspira.
Cast in every single movie. Yeah. All right. And what do you hope people will take away from this episode?
What we're talking about now?
Take what you like. Take what you like. Anyway.
Yeah.
Really like. We said plenty good things.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
I think we get so buried in the seriousness of being cultural and blaming the colonists, and actually Uncle Sai Bridges says don't give the colonists too much credit, but I think we get so wrapped up in policing culture and being the best hula person, because it's great. Excellence is great. But then we lose ourselves again. It's not worth it. It's not worth going through another 2, 3, 4, 5 generations of us having to reclaim who we are and where we belong.
from each other. From
From
ourselves.
each other, from
Yeah,
ourselves,
why are
from
we
our
fighting
freaking
with each other all the
community.
time?
Yeah. So,
And again,
Yeah.
two things can be true simultaneously. If you're going to do that, I say, if you're going to be that, then also challenge yourself to rise to the occasion. Hold yourself accountable. If you're going to, then do it. Going. If you're going to be.
Yeah.
go be 'em then.
Go be 'em then.
Go be 'em then.
Go be 'em then.
Love that. All right. Before we.
And this is the world according to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all have our own
Yeah,
reality.
Please.
That's my take.
We're the heroes of our own stories and the villains of
Peleo
somebody
vale
else's.
no.
Yeah.
Please don't write ugly the kind posts about what Kekuhi and Kaumakaiwa said.
Eia no ukula o kaleo. It is but our humble opinion. And it
Indeed.
is in our humble opinion, through
Indeed.
our humble experiences, in our very humble real life experiences as Kanaka,
Yeah.
in our
ʻOhi'a.
POV.
Nice.
And that's what you guys take for it. Kanakas are looking at
exactly.
you. That's my camera.
Yeah. So you guys have a life hack.
My name
that
is
you can-
Kaumakaiwa Keali'ikanaka'ole, and I approve this message.
Amene.
Kaumakaiwa, Governor 20, 30, I think. But when's the next election?
They cannot handle.
Yeah, probably not. But do you have a life hack you can share with us?
I thought we did share life hack.
No.
I don't know how you're
keep
going to
it
edit
aloha.
around this, Mr. Editor. I was for real. I threw them out earlier.
Yeah.
And ladies, young men, and I used to be really desperate, very desperate in my search for love because I didn't have very many healthy examples of it, of relationship and fostering of romantic relationships growing up. And we was too busy with Kuleana, I guess. In the spirit of self-respect, young ladies, young men, treat your body like one halau. Whoever you decided to let into your life, to love you, and to partner, to go through this life with, treat your body like said temple or halau. You make them oli before you come inside. You know what I mean? Don't just give out just give away for free. They still get the slipper on. That says a lot about you, girl.
Got a handful of slippers at least.
Make them oli before they come inside.
That's a shirt.
Ahele vale no e.
Greatest life hack ever. Can you? I don't know if you can beat that.
Stupid.
But it's funny because yes, it's a
I
joke,
mean
but
it and I
but it
Yeah.
is a good. It is like good words of it, wisdom.
Know your worth, babe.
Yeah.
Know your worth.
Yeah.
Know your worth.
Yeah.
Just kakao.
Kako.
All right.
Kakao.
Okay. Last fast 5 questions. These are rapid fire answers, and then we're ripping packs. Okay. Favorite thing to eat in Hilo?
Oh, it was rapid fire.
Yeah, just first thing that comes to mind.
Number 28 at Hilo Rice Noodle.
Oh, you know the number too.
The Naughty Burger and Simon.
Oh, Nori's. Yeah,
Naughty
yeah,
Burger,
yeah.
Simon Mac Salad. Simon Mac Salad. Oh.
Oh, getting hungry. Okay, favorite guilty pleasure.
Free time.
You're so busy
Mary,
you feel
make
guilty about that.
Nothing arouses me more than free time. Absolutely nothing to do. If your nipple's not hard, I don't know what.
Korean
Dead.
mafia boss and African girl love stories on YouTube.
What?
Oh yeah.
What? Wait.
Scrolling.
Explain
hashtag
this.
doom
What?
Scrolling. Yeah.
What? Kekuhi?
Moving on.
All right, we don't gotta explain that.
Yeah,
All right,
no.
okay. All right, favorite travel destination.
Oh, where I never go yet. I still need to go to India.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. I'm actually going to Brazil for the first time.
Oh, that would be awesome.
So I've always wanted to. I've always wanted to go to South America, and we've only gone to Mexico. So
I wonder if they will think you're Brazilian over there.
Badabungo.
Favorite song to hula. That might be a hard one.
The next one.
Hey, that's a good one.
See you at Haina, girl.
Favorite song to hula? I really like to hula Vaika. Vaika is it's Aloha Vaika Ia'u Mehei Pula. That one. Yeah. It's one of my favorite choreographies that my auntie Nolani created.
Pua Melie is one of my favorite. My grandma Edith's mele. Pua
Yeah.
Melie. It's one of my
Cool.
favorites.
I'm excited to watch Miss Aloha Hula with you singing.
Yeah, Mele Ha'ikupuna.
Mele
I'm gonna be
Ha'ikupuna. Yeah,
singing
that's gonna
her.
be awesome.
And actually, the girl, the contestant, because this will release clearly
be
after,
after,
long
yeah.
after.
Yeah.
The contestant is the daughter of our Tita Noilani Iokepa, who is now one of the co-kumus with new li'ihaini of Hālau na Puale Olikolehua and Hilena Alahaini's Hālau. And but she was not only my grandma's best friend, but Noilani Iokepa and her daughter Lilia, they're actually pili na ohana to us through Nakapuahi.
What?
To Keli'iluahine na Kapuahi.
Everybody related to each other at some point.
And so for her to so at this particular kind of transitional period of our Auntie Nalani who are now ascending to the Kiniakua, and Auntie Lena Alahaini about 15, 16 years ago. And yeah, so it's going to be I feel the most connected to the songs that that have that visceral sort of meaning for me. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, and last one, favorite thing about Merrie Monarch.
Favorite thing about Merrie Monarch?
Yeah.
The fellowship.
I love you come here, reunion, you saying hi to somebody every 2 steps.
Yeah. I like the, we're at the Palace Theater, and it's a brand new space for streaming where aunties can hang out here and watch streaming. It just started last year. Noi and Lehua are running it this year. And just local vendors on the inside and local vendors on the food and at the drinks area. And the fact that people can just come in the Palace Theater and look the screen. And so it's all of those little, there's also a little place that happens right up, it's the Kanaka Makeke up at Wailuku. Right on the other side of Wailuku River, and there's another Kanaka Makeke in Panaeva, and I love all of these little spin-offs, these sub communities within communities. I love that the craft fair is not just in one place, but is become the way that small communities celebrate hula and just being Hawaii in little mini communities around Hawaii Island. I love that.
Yeah, same. I try to be home every single Merrie Monarch, not just for the hula, but for the camaraderie, for just seeing people I haven't seen since high school maybe, and just like everybody's in there. It's good and bad. It's good and bad. Having to see some of my old Kumus and I love it. Seeing everybody's lole and how the excitement. Yeah. All right. You ever ripped some Pokemon packs before?
Never.
Let's do it.
Okay. Did you want to
Is
choose?
that
Who do you
up
want?
to the prism?
This is.
Prismatic?
No, it's not prismatic. Oh, you know.
Prismatic.
Oh, this is Surging Sparks. So the Pikachu is the big one. Here, you can have the Pikachu. All right, so yeah, I'll go first. And basically, the Pokemon community, it's exploding in the last couple of years. So many people are into it. We got into it in December. So you open the pack, you make a little puka at the top. I like to guess the color of the energy, so I'll guess green. Oh, it's red for fire. And then I show it to the camera, and then I reveal it. The first couple cards are just regular common cards. And then the back cards are the big cards. And you want to look for something like a full art card. Oh, something like this. So I got a hit. So you see how it looks different than these cards.
Okay.
So you want something like this. Got a Pikachu.
Is it my turn?
Okay, yeah. Right. Yeah, so throw that away. We don't need that. And then you can guess the color.
Guess the color of this one?
Yeah.
What are the guesses?
It's pretty much any color you can think, like any of the solid colors.
Solid color.
What's the shuffle?
This one is you just take the
Red.
back. Red? Okay, so you got green. I guess yours, you guess mine.
Okay.
So that's leaf.
Now what?
And it's just funny because you were talking about rolling around in the grass this whole time. That's crazy.
Grasses.
Okay, and then you hold it up from the front like this. Oh, you can do it both same time, okay? Yeah, and then you just reveal it. You could go side, take it off like that. Yeah.
Okay. One.
Okay.
What if I don't win?
You win regardless. Everybody wins except the person who bought the cards.
Participation trophy.
And then you got one more, I think, or two more.
Who trainer?
Okay, wait, that's all. So that's what I have.
Trainer card.
You didn't get a hit like this. But what do you? Oh, you didn't get a hit either. Oh way. But at least you won't get addicted because you didn't get a big hit, and now you're not going to be chasing that high.
I still feel the same.
Yeah.
I'm not tweaking. I'm not tweaking.
If you got something good, then that rushes. Do you have any nieces, nephews you want to give these to?
I'm not tweaking for nobody's Pikachu.
Yeah, actually, my nephew Kauahi.
Okay,
Has
cool.
a huge
We'll give them. Yeah,
collection.
this is a really cool card.
Oh,
Speaking
cool.
to-
That's,
Okay,
that's your
and
grandson, not your nephew.
Oh,
since
I'm
this
sorry,
is a
my
special
grandson.
episode here at at the Palace
Sorry,
Theater.
grandson.
We're here at Hilo Aloha, Actions of Aloha. They made these trading card packs.
Cute.
Is it trading? Lane, is it trading cards? You could trade it if you like. So we got these. So these are the first ones that will be opened,
Thank
at least over
you.
here. In
Go,
my,
crack 'em in.
yeah, no. So both of you, you can do them. I got more. I can do on my own.
You mean open them?
Yeah, you can open it. Yeah, I think they're so smart to do it. I love that you guys are doing this because the trading card world is just so big. So just the act of ripping
TCG,
a
right?
pack, yeah, TCGs. Come on,
I told you I follow Coop's Collectibles, a jar charm.
are you following Kamaka Rips?
No, not yet.
You gotta follow
but I will.
Kamaka Rips.
I'm also into going out with these, those scoops, those mystery scoop. I get addicted to those.
I've never seen those before.
Those
Like
ladies
ice
in
cream?
China or Korea, they you doing scoop and then they put you out. It's like Sanrio station area, like
Oh,
color.
I've never seen that before. But yeah, so basically they have different actions of Aloha you can do while you're here in Hilo and just life in general. But it's a special set that they just released.
Take out my trash. Aww, that's Aloha.
Get dressed in your favorite vintage mu'umu'u for hot hilo.
Hamau, Merrie.
Kahiko night.
Make sure everyone in your hui gets home safely from Peggy's, including Peggy.
That's so funny.
End your Merrie Monarch night that Ken's. Well,
If you can make them after Peggy's. If you can make them to Ken's.
if you're happy with on 4 a.m. wake up call for blow ass, then whatever, then carry on. Carry on, Ken's. But at 4 a.m. when you all pilut or you puana kamakani and you cut katsu.
Oh, ha'ina
It's
e
the
kapuana.
Best idea, Merrie. Eat that sumo, man.
Sumo.
Why you need chili and mayonnaise and one sumo min with one omelet? You're not going to know until the next morning.
You feel them.
You see.
Offer a hula or mele at the Sig Zane store.
Wait patiently in line at Two Ladies Kitchen. That's everybody who not from Mokuokiave.
Yeah.
Wait patiently in
It's just
any
like
line.
the story your brother who posted
brother.
it? Yeah, it was your
Koiga.
brother. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
This is Hilo. Relax.
Relax. No beep on.
Yeah, no beep on.
That's right. That's right.
Two Ladies Kitchen.
Oh, these are good. These are so fun.
Two Ladies Kitchen would sound like a good breakdance group. Or like my new like Mr. Camarillo's Ukulele Club.
Yes.
Right on. Well, you guys can go check that out. I mean, I wish this episode could come out during Merrie Monarch so we could be promoting these things. But maybe next year we'll try to schedule it a little bit better. But mahalo to Actions of Aloha,
Mahalo.
Lane for helping coordinate this, you two for coming in and sharing your story and your mana'o. It's amazing that I get to do this. I have the best job in the world. I get to talk with smart, educated, fun, silly, legendary people. So I really appreciate it. Is there anything else that you want to share before we wrap up? If not, tell us where we can find you.
At Kaumakaiwa on socials, FB and Insta, Kaumakaiwa, and otherwise you can find me on the flip side or wherever. I'm not really one to promote stuff that I'm doing. I kind of been like that. Merrie,
We end up seeing it. You don't
bachelor's
need promote,
degree.
yeah.
I got my bachelor's degree. I never do nothing. I didn't. My grandma was so hoka. Because, she was like, why you never invite us, tell us nobody? When I got my master's degree, never tell nobody. I did it quietly, on to the next.
I partied for you.
There you go. One of my favorite lyrics from Lil Wayne's song is real G's move in silence like lasagna. You're a real G.
Oh, that's good.
That's why.
Move in silence like lasagna. Yeah. I'm already spacing out. I don't have anything else to say.
Let's get some food. Mahalo to Kekuhi and Kaumakaiwa for coming on the Keep It Aloha podcast today. Spread love, be kind to one another, and mahalo for listening to us today. We have new episodes every Thursday, so make sure you follow us and leave a review. I'm your host, Kamaka, and remember to always keep it aloha.